America. In honor of crossing the Delaware River and kicking Cornwallis out of Yorktown, Sensagreen now offers $1,776 off new HVAC systems. Give me liberty and a new HVAC smart system this summer at Sensagreen with Bryant. Whatever it takes, just like our founding fathers. USA! USA! USA!
Alabama license number 12705/52808.
We are a nation that has overcome. We are no strangers to adversity. It's because we've been through challenging times and always come through more capable than before. We are strong, over 300 million strong, and together we're at our best. Join us for America's semi-quincentennial. That's right, 250 years in 2026. Visit America250.org.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
This hour of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. When you need service, rely on Talent. From system installations to tune-ups, rely on Talent. Online at talenthvac.com.
ALCert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Last day of the week, as we are on our summer hours. It's like a store. You ever go into those and be like, new hours for the summer? That is exactly what we are.
That's the radio business, though.
That absolutely is, especially in the summertime. He is Drew DeArmond. I am Joe Hunk, filling in for Scott Tyson, who is over in Oregon right now, celebrating his son's graduation. As we are getting going.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Now, here's the thing. I know that you never think of this at the time. Is this the last time Scott will ever travel to Oregon?
I don't know. That's a good question because I guess it's going to depend on what his son decides to do for a living, and if he decides he's going to live in the Pacific Northwest. Certainly, I think he also has an option to go to grad school, and so and I think he has 1 year of eligibility left technically because of
I know a university is getting a brand new track and field. Place that is going to be opening up. There's some things that are scheduled to come out in the media in a couple of weeks. Just saying brand new facilities. Just throwing that out there just in case, But hey, no, you can continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I dig it. He's had a good career out there, both on the junior college and the 4-year level, on the Division II level, and really been a standout. So congrats to him and everything he's been able to grind and earn. And he'll have to make that decision whether, he wants to use his last year or, is he going to or is he just going to go to grad school, or is he just going to enter the workforce? I really don't know his plans, but I know he's got options.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing to have, and certainly he's going to graduate from Southwest Oregon. And really right now, if you look at what he's done with his career, he's in the mecca of track and field and cross country. I mean, in Oregon, it's a religion up there.
Absolutely. There's 2 states that track and field are like king in, and that's Oregon and Arkansas. Yeah. Those are the 2 places.
Yeah, Arkansas, of course, has always had a very, very strong track program in the Southeastern Conference, and before that in the Southwest Conference, they were a powerhouse. But yeah, Oregon, we all know. I mean, with Prefontaine and all those guys who kind of set the standard. And let's not forget Phil Knight. The reason Nike was created was because of track and field.
Absolutely.
Not basketball or one of the big 3. It was because of track shoes and trying to, provide athletes at that time, long distance runners, track athletes with shoes and gear, and then it just sort of grew from there. So.
Yeah, matter of fact, he didn't even want to get into the basketball realm.
No.
Like it was, If you've ever seen the movie Air, which is a very good movie, regardless, what you think about
with
Ben
our good friend
Affleck
Sonny
and
Vaccaro.
Sonny, yeah. It was a look. We're a track shoe company. We're not going to get into that business with Adidas and Converse and all those other ones.
Yeah,
at the time, it was originally that was what they were focused on.
Yeah, they were, and they were really Michael Jordan was going to go to Adidas.
Yep,
which would have changed the everything. And but Sonny Vaccaro was very persuasive and understood that basketball was the next big thing, and finding an athlete to wear your gear. So. Just unbelievable, but accomplishments for Landon. He's done great, and we certainly hope that everything goes exceptionally well for the family. And this graduation ceremony is a very special time. So Scott will be back next week, and it'll almost be like those like a relay race and tag.
Yes,
because looking at my schedule. Huntsville High will be at Jacksonville State, and then in Tuscaloosa on Wednesday and Thursday. So that's when Scott will be back on Wednesday. So we may just have to tag and then he come back. But you started the show perfectly by saying that's the summer in radio.
It is. I mean, that is summer hours, and that's kind of what it is. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a best of. That's what you go. That's what we roll with. And
haven't done one since last summer.
No.
If you listen to the show every day, pretty much that's when those happen.
To be honest, it was actually weird when you guys started hanging back out, like coming in on a Friday.
Yeah.
I got so used to walking into the studio and it being pitch black on a Friday. And the next thing you know, I saw you. I was like, oh, football season's here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Football season's here. Let's go ahead and do this.
After SEC Media Days, it's all downhill.
Yeah.
We got high school football, we got SEC football, then the NFL starts, and basically, that's in radio, a lot of times in parlance, that's when the new calendar year in radio turns. Now, a lot of times with lineups and stuff like that, it's February, but honestly, the turn of the new year, calendar year in radio, is when football season hits, and then you're back to the grind all the way through April and May again, and then it restarts.
And then you go back into that, which is where we do a lot of traveling and things along those lines, especially because graduations, events, all of that. Speaking of events, we also have one coming up on Monday that you as well, June 22nd, as it's going to be the Rocket City Awards.
4th annual already, hard to believe.
4th annual, as that's going to be taking place once again. So we'll be having that for you as well. And it was now. I know yesterday you made the sound about the Stanley Cup final, which is okay. It's cool. I mean, again, it's sport. Certain sports aren't for. I don't care about a lot of things, but. Did you care anything about basketball last night?
I watched the last 45 seconds and puked in the floor.
After you cleaned up the puke, why were you puking in the floor?
Because how can you be up 29 points with like 8 or 9 minutes left in the third quarter? And then I was on the phone with somebody for 40 minutes, and by the end of the phone call, that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
And they blow a 29-point lead in about 40 minutes of regular time. That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the Knicks still tried to give him the game, and then De'Aaron Fox is so stupid. He's got the basketball IQ of a brick, and he has a chance to grab a loose ball and dribble the clock until they foul him. The dumbass decides to shoot the ball. Then he gets it blocked. Even if he makes the layup, Joe, they're only up 3. It's still a one-possession game. They can still pull one out of their ass and throw a 3 in. But if you dribble the ball out, they have to foul you, and then at least you run some more of the clock off. But he's so stupid that he has no basketball awareness that he tries to shoot a layup. He played like dog meat too, by the way. He choked his ass off like the rest of his teammates. And Victor Wembanyama, he misses 2 free throws, which could have, and late in the fourth quarter, which could have iced it. And then to watch that final sequence, we're seeing it right here. A 7'5" dumbass is out there trying to block a 3 instead of having his 7'5" ass under the basket. So my man, OG Anunoby can't tip it in, but he's too busy trailing the play like an idiot, and he's 7'5". Get your ass under the basket, okay? I know you have otherworldly skills on the perimeter, especially for someone that's over 7 feet tall. But when you're trying to get the biggest rebound of the game, your 7'5" ass needs to be under the basket. It was a complete debacle, and they should fire the head coach immediately.
It was wild. I turned the game on at the end of the half. And at the bottom, it was giving like a little stat update, and it said Knicks are on a 10-0 run. And I was going, they're down by like 20. Like, who cares if they're on a 10-0 run?
Yep.
Like, it was none of that. And they kept creeping back in, and I'm thinking, I'm casually watching it. I'm not going to sit and just analyze every single inch of this. Like, oh, look, he's not going out and getting the pick right. He's not setting the screen properly. No, I wasn't doing all that. I'm just, oh, look at the score now. Oh, look at the score now. And then what you're talking about starts to happen. I keep watching thinking, there's no way they're about to blow this in the NBA Finals.
Of course
you're about to blow.
I mean, and the Knicks even got to they even got to overcome a Hart missed dunk. We saw just a second ago in the open court. He missed a dunk. He should have dunked that basketball, but it was just a choke job. That's all it is. It's pathetic, but it's become commonplace in the NBA. You can be up 30 and lose.
Absolutely.
Which back in the day never happened because guys actually had basketball IQ and actually understood how to play. They don't now.
No, and it's because and here's what's, and I know you're talking about Wembanyama and the fact that he was out on the perimeter.
Yeah, trying to block a 3-pointer.
Is that his call, or do you think that's what he was told to do since he's 7'5"?
Look, man, there is no coaching in the NBA.
That's why I'm asking.
All it is a bunch of ego management. Hey, this dog needs about 30 minutes. This guy needs 40 minutes because we're paying him this, and and we got to get this guy a certain number of minutes. There's very little coaching that goes on in the league. That's why they recycle everybody who gets fired 15 times. I mean, the Knicks coach I think he's actually solid, but he's been fired 3 or 4 times himself. So that's all I'm going to say.
All right, so now here's going to be pop quiz because Drew is like an almanac of information with sports. Can you tell me the last championship the city of New York won?
In 1970, you're talking about overall.
I'm talking about
anything.
I'm talking about the city itself because it has all 4 professional sports. You could even go out into New Jersey and you're wanting to count the Devils. I mean, we're talking the last time the New York something.
Yeah, because I was going to say the Knicks was 73. I know that. That's been 53 years since they won one, which they're about to now. I would say 2009, the Yankees.
Very close.
Yeah.
In 2009 in the Yankees was, and I'm double checking.
Because I think the Giants was 07 when they beat the Patriots in that huge upset with the undefeated.
Then they did it the second time because they beat them in Indy as well.
But what year?
And that was 2011.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's why I'm saying. No, because that was what was it? Is it Montgomery? No, it wasn't Montgomery. Mooneyham that made the catch on the sideline from Eli in the second game, and they was like, "Oh, that's the Tyree catch," but for this Super Bowl. Okay. I can't remember who it was that made the catch, but it was 2011.
I remember they won 2, but I forgot it was in 11.
Yeah. Now, if you want to go into all the other like off-brand sports, I call that like the the Aldi Sports of New York. You have the National Women's Soccer League won a championship in 2025. Mm-hmm. And then you also
see, here we go. Here we go with DeArmond stupid. He's got the basketball, and then the schmuck doesn't dribble it. All you need to do is catch the ball and then dribble it back out to the perimeter. Look at this right here, Joe. If you take it back out to the perimeter, there's less than 10 seconds left in the game, and the moron's trying to shoot the ball.
And what makes it so bad is they were down 2-1 in the series. This would have evened the series up.
I mean, it's just really, and I think Anunoby blocked that one too. So kudos to him and kudos to the Knicks for coming back. But I mean, the lack of basketball IQ and awareness in the NBA is just stunning.
Absolutely.
And those morons on that panel would tell us we didn't know anything. But combined, the only one that's got an IQ above a brick is basically Wilbon and Jay Williams. Jay had his career cut short. I don't count Greenberg because he's just a talking head, but I'm talking about the dudes that actually played the game or covered it for a long time. Wilbon's covered it for a long time. He called it the most stunning he's ever seen. Jay Williams was a great player until the injury kind of took his career away, but I'm sorry, you have to say the lack of awareness. I mean, right here, that's the game, man. Dribble the ball out and make them foul you.
Yeah.
I mean, you stupid ass.
It's not that hard. And here's another part where you're talking about the coaching. Every single person on that bench, every single coach, everything that was in black and silver should have been screaming, just grab the ball and don't shoot it.
But he's not gonna listen. He's gonna sit there and he's gonna fire it up because he's not even thinking. I mean, he played terrible the entire game, so what do you expect? So, like I said, man, it was just. But kudos to the Knicks. I mean, they just kept playing, and the Spurs, handed it to them on a silver platter. Wembanyama's supposed to be the best player in the world. He didn't show much basketball IQ either. I mean, I understand he's 7'5" and he's got unbelievable mobility, but I'll say it again: the guards are supposed to be out there guard on the perimeter. You're supposed to be under the basket. Rebounding the ball. And if you're 7'5", it's going to be because that was a hell of a play by Anunoby. But if there's a 7'5" guy there with his hands up,
you're not shooting over that.
There's a very, very high likelihood you're going to block it.
Absolutely.
Or he's not going to be able to tip it in.
Yeah.
Instead, your ass is sitting back there watching it because you're trying to guard on the perimeter. It's just absolutely stupid.
And it is amazing that, again, in that situation, when you're up in the game and you're down in the series 2-1, because now you're looking at game 5 and it is a must win for you. But the Knicks are now on the verge of winning their first NBA championship since 1973.
And see, here's the deal too. If you get fouled and make the 2 free throws, if you're DeArmond choke, then what you do is you're able to turn around and you're able to go up 3, and then they have to shoot a 3 to tie it. Just to tie it, and in all likelihood, if they miss, if Anunoby gets that tip in, then it doesn't matter. You're up 1, and the game's over. Now, what you have to do is either foul or play good perimeter defense and hope they don't throw a 3 in. And who knows? Maybe the Knicks make a 3 and get it to overtime. But the likelihood of the Spurs winning the game is extremely high if you played that situation properly. But of course, De'Aaron Fox didn't.
By the way, if you want to look at that roster from 1973 for the New York Knicks.
Oh, it was loaded with Hall of Famers, man.
I mean, that roster for both the
Dollar
Knicks
Bill
and the Lakers.
Walt Clyde Frazier, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, all of them guys, man.
I mean, it is wild at how many get, and even on the Lakers, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Pat Riley.
Most of the millennials have never heard of those people. They call them plumbers.
Yes, and the wildest thing is truly think about it. The brand that is the Knicks, the brand that is the Rangers. Yes, the Yankees have their 27.
And by the way, there was some cat I think he was still on the 73 team on the bench named Phil Jackson. He ended up being a pretty good coach.
Absolutely. That's just the coaches that came from that series.
And Dollar Bill, by the way, is Bill Bradley. These millennials ain't going to know who I'm talking about.
I'm counting right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In that series, there were 12 players that would eventually go into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Just in that series from 1973, last time the Knicks won the championship. 256-576-4977. This hour always brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to go up and talk to Chris Lee of Southeastern 16. He's going to continue to get us ready for the College World Series. First pitch is tomorrow at 1 o'clock between Troy and West Virginia. Then after that, it's going to be Ole Miss and North Carolina. It's basically just then becomes the SEC Baseball Invitational because in one entire side of the bracket is made up of SEC teams. Oklahoma and Alabama get going Saturday at 2. Texas and Georgia get going right after that at 7 o'clock on Saturday. But phone lines are open to you as we get going this morning on Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Another accident up on the board. It's just a minor accident. It looks like they're going to go ahead and move it off of the roadway, though. It'll be 565 eastbound between Greenbrier and County Line. Just be on the lookout for that little accident. And they are in the process of moving it, so it may be gone by the time you get there. But we're dealing with heavy traffic eastbound on 565. Bumper to bumper, but it's moving steadily. And we got one accident, Highway 91 and 278. And that's going to be in Holly Pond right there at the traffic light. So use caution through that area. Keep those seatbelts buckled and be careful. Is a home purchase in your future? Protect yourself when you're making the biggest investment of your life. From the peak of the roof to the bottom of the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing, and everything in between, call Jeremy at Cruise Home Inspection and get some peace of mind. 256-529-4207. 256-529-4207. From the Rock Creek Productions Traffic Center, I'm David Cruz, Mr. Traffic.
This is Jen with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Y'all need to come join us. We have so many fun things every night of the week. From Monday night, steak night, Tuesday night, karaoke, Wednesday night, we have Singo Bingo, Thursday night is bike night. Of course, we've got live music on the weekends, so y'all come join us. Meridian Street Crossing, we've got Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Come on next door to the Rocket City Honky Tonk, where we've got honky tonk music all night long. Y'all come join us. We'd love to see you.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you scheduled your wedding and even your child's birth around your school's game? Of course. But it means more than that. It means you're home to hundreds of Fulbright, Truman, Goldwater, and Rhodes Scholars. It means starting out as the birthplace of American public higher education, and now leading the way in unmanned spacecraft. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That there's an honest-to-goodness chandelier in your tailgate tent? Perhaps. But it means more than that. It means pioneering medical solutions to predict new flu viruses. It means leading globally diverse teams to eliminate starvation in developing countries. And it means being home to one of the nation's top cybersecurity programs. This is the SEC. And here, it just means more.
Wheelchairs for Warriors serves those who served us. We provide custom-fit wheelchairs for veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. When they are denied the services they deserve, we stand in the gap. To join the mission and support America's heroes, you can visit our website at wheelchairsforwarriors.org. We are a 501c3 organization and part of the combined federal campaign. Visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
I'm Bill Crawford, the host of The Point with Bill Crawford. Tune us in Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Talk Radio WZZN.
Wherever you are, even Moscow, as we appreciate you hopping in this morning on Talking Ball. Joe Hunk, Drew DeArmond, and Scott Tyson is over on the West Coast. He'll be back next week, Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday he'll be back is when he's going to be, and then Drew heads down to Jacksonville State. So it's a rotating door in the summertime, and then eventually everybody's going to be at the same place at the same time down in Tampa for the SEC media days. And I was actually asking Drew during the break, I was like, okay, break this down for me. I understand with Wimbiamba and having him, you talking about him being down low.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it smart to have him out guarding around the perimeter, being the fact that if the Knicks were going to make a three, they had to shoot one over a 7'5" guy in the air? Like, I'm just not saying that was the right call or anything like that. I'm just curious about the mindset of the two different ideas.
Yeah, but even if he gets a piece of it, what if it ricochets out to somebody else on the perimeter and they shoot a three as well? What you're needing, you don't need a damn block shot. You need a rebound.
Yeah.
Okay? The rebound is more important. You should have somebody on the perimeter like DeArmond Choke or Stephon Castle, who's a really good defender, actually, who can lock the guy down and force a missed shot, and then you get the rebound. Your ass is paid to rebound, not guard on the perimeter. You're not a 7'5" perimeter defender. You're a 7'5" rim protector and rebounder. Okay?
Yes.
I know you love your perimeter skills and everything, but you also shot 9 of 25 and missed 2 big free throws. So guess what, bud? If you're the best player in the world, that ain't good enough on that stage. You got to be better, a lot better. And that was pathetic. I mean, I'm sorry. You've got to make plays. And they did not make any down the stretch. To blow a 29-point lead and what equates to a quarter and 2/3. I mean, a 29-point lead.
Yes.
I mean, you were at one point it was, I think the biggest lead was 81-52, and then you barely break 100.
Yes.
After that. You basically do diddly poo offensively the rest of the half.
It was the really, second half period.
I mean,
that's how bad it was.
The fourth quarter was horrendous on both ends of the court. I mean, it's just really, really bad. I mean, I'm sorry.
The Spurs, okay, so you were talking about the lead that they had. How many points, you may know, did they score in the second half total?
I have not looked. I didn't look at that. I just know it was 81-52. I want to say with under 9 minutes to go, and then you look at the final score, and they lose what was it, 105, 104?
It was 107, 106.
107, 106. Yeah, like I gave a rat's ass anyway, but 107, 106. So just do the math.
They scored 30 points in the second half alone. In an NBA basketball game, they just scored 30 points.
Yeah, they only scored 30 in the whole half. But then when you look at it, you're still up 81-52, I think, with the under 9 minutes in the third quarter. And then that's all you end up with. I think you score what? And you talked about 30, but I guess they scored, 25 points the rest of the game? Because that you end up with 106 and you lose 107, 106. I mean, that's ridiculous. In an NBA game with a shot clock, I mean, 25 points in a quarter and 2/3 is absurd.
Heck, I'm surprised whenever an NBA game is under 110. I think I saw one in double digits like a couple weeks ago.
These guys are allergic to defense. None of them want to defend anything, and there's no physicality in the game. If they cry like a bunch of bitches.
256-576-4977. Oh, this kind of falls into that category as well. If you are a Texas or Tennessee fan, the kickoff for your game in Week 4 has been announced, and it is going to be an 11 a.m. kick between the Vols and the Longhorns, as last night SEC Network had their schedule reveal for the remainder of the season. And so now we officially know at least the quote-unquote windows that certain teams are going to be playing in some of those games.
Yeah, the windows. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Just give us the schedule. Like, that's it. We know that Alabama and East Carolina are playing at noon.
11 a.m.
Yeah. Exactly. That's going to be it. We know that Alabama and Kentucky is going to be at 2:30 on September 12th. Alabama and Florida State is going to be a 2:30 kick on September 19th.
And then the rest of them are windows.
Yeah, every one of them is night,
flex
afternoon, early, flex, night. And is there any other time? Like, seriously, should we not just have universal times for a lot of these? Like, do we have to have the 16 different windows for everything on this?
Well, yeah, because the TV rules the roost, and they don't know for sure, especially in this portal era. That's why I've raised hell with Joel Klatt and some other people that are trying to predict how good teams are going to be, and that's why I hate preseason predictions anyway.
Yes,
because you base it off last year. And that's all he's doing. He's saying, well, Alabama couldn't run the ball last year, so they won't be able to run it this year. Hell, they ran it really well the first year, with Nuke LaLoosh at quarterback. I mean, but he was a hell of a runner. And they didn't run it, conventionally with the tailbacks a ton because he dominated the ball. But even when they did, they ran the ball well. Nobody was complaining about the running game then. They were complaining about Milroe's turnovers and the inconsistency. And so that's what I'm saying. But it is what it is. With all the roster movement and since they still don't have any guardrails, you're basically having to rebuild your team every year. And so you don't really know how good anybody's going to be because, think about, last year at this time, everybody thought Texas was the number one team in the country and was going to win the SEC, and they didn't come close to doing either. They didn't even make the playoff, and they almost lost to Kentucky and Mississippi State. I mean, they won their bowl game, and I was corrected by a Texas fan. They didn't lose 4 games; they lost 3, but still, they could have easily lost 5 games. I mean, they weren't nearly as good as people thought they would be, and so that's why I'm saying there's no guarantees in this life at all. And so I just, especially in football and the way you don't know how teams are going to mesh together. And now you've got Lane Kiffin at LSU. They've spent a ton of money, but is Sam Leavitt going to be healthy? We don't know. And so if he is, they probably got a chance to be pretty good. And Lane has a good track record in regular season, not so much postseason. But again, they should be good. Texas is going to have a lot of high expectations because of all the people they bought. And then the Aggies are bringing back a lot of people, including their quarterback. So there's going to be high expectations there since they made the playoff. And then Georgia's Georgia. I mean, they've got their quarterback back, and they have consistency within their coaching staff and the way they want to do things. And Georgia will probably be the favorite once again, along with Texas. I wouldn't even be shocked in Tampa if Georgia's picked to win it. But Texas has a lot of star power, 2 tailbacks, Cam Coleman, and a year under their belt of Arch Manning, who really hadn't played a lot until he of course, got that full year last year. And I thought did improve down the stretch, very much so.
All right, when we come back, Chris Lee of Southeastern 16 is here to talk a little baseball with us, as we will talk to him about the biggest story today in the state of Alabama, and that's the fact that the Republicans have won 6 straight in the congressional baseball game, as they won again last night. That's the biggest topic when we come back on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We stay warm and muggy as we head into the overnight. Temperatures are only going to drop into the lower 70s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky as we head into your Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. It's going to be just as humid. There is a better opportunity for afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
If you've ever been in a car wreck, it almost feels like being in a movie. I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people every day.
The Lackey Law Firm.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck and need a lawyer, is bigger better?
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family.
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Having thousands of cases is impressive, but do you want to be just a case number, one with lots of digits?
Or do you need a lawyer who gets to know you? With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, when you've been injured, we take the time to help.
Even in your hospital room.
Because at the Lackey Law Firm, you're not a number. We treat you like family, because that's what we are.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation CAT 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all, with features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Another accident up on the board. It's just a minor accident. It looks like they're going to go ahead and move it off of the roadway, though. It'll be 565 eastbound between Greenbrier and County Line. Just be on the lookout for that little accident. And they are in the process of moving it, so it may be gone by the time you get there. But we're dealing with heavy traffic eastbound on 565. Bumper to bumper, but it's moving steadily. And we got one accident, Highway 91 and 278. And that's going to be in Holly Pond right there at the traffic light. So use caution through that area. Keep those seatbelts buckled and be careful. Is a home purchase in your future? Protect yourself when you're making the biggest investment of your life. From the peak of the roof to the bottom of the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing, and everything in between, call Jeremy at Cruz Home Inspection and get some peace of mind. 256-529-4207. 256-529-4207. From the Rock Creek Productions Traffic Center, I'm David Cruz, Mr. Traffic.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Tomorrow afternoon, it's going to get going in Omaha as the College World Series, where one half of the bracket is made up of all SEC teams, and they make up 5 of the 8 teams that are there. Friday is going to be Troy and West Virginia kicking it off. Then right after that's going to be Ole Miss and North Carolina. Joe Hunk, Drew DeArmond with you this morning on Talkin' Ball. Scott Tyson is in the great state of Oregon. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm curious, is this the last time he'll ever visit that state? There are states that you will visit in your life and you go, it's great, I've been here, never coming back. I'm good. I'm just never coming back to this state.
Sounds like L.A. and New York.
I mean, seriously, like that is how some people feel. Like, you know what? I've been here now. I've experienced it. I'm good. And Scott's made a lot of trips to the state of Oregon. And heck, I think Chris Lee has made probably a few trips to Omaha himself. Yep. So he's visited the state of Nebraska a few times.
Well, Vanderbilt's a two-time national champion. He's the long-time publisher of Vandy 247, part of the 24/7 Sports Network and CBS. And also, he is the patriarch of Southeastern 16, which is probably on YouTube the best source there is for Southeastern Conference athletics, especially they take a very keen interest in baseball, which the media coverage has grown exponentially. But of the big three, and that's what I call them, men's basketball, football, of course, which drives the bus, and baseball, it does lag behind the other two. And softball has, on the women's side, has really exploded with the popularity of the Women's College World Series and the sport in general. But we always enjoy catching up with Chris Lee, and he's joining us on WZZN TV and the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Chris, good morning. You're with Drew and Joe Hunk. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I have indeed been to Omaha several times. Yep. Wife's from Nebraska and also Oregon, which is an interesting place.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a heck of a College World Series. It's a record for the SEC. 5 teams, 5 of the 8, one side of the bracket is like a mini SEC tournament in Hoover. And yet it's a very interesting and entertaining field with some teams that, we thought would be there that aren't, like Auburn. I thought Auburn was on fire in Hoover, and I thought they were going to make the College World Series. I really did, especially as the number 4 national seed, no doubt about it. And I know you really love that Georgia Tech team, speaking of outside of the SEC. And that's one team, Oklahoma, that I didn't expect to see in Omaha, but they're there.
Yeah, UCLA and Florida would like a word in that conversation, too. I mean, it's been a wild ride getting here.
Yeah, because didn't you we were talking about this on the show a couple of days ago, you picked Florida to beat Georgia Tech, was that right?
Yeah, I've done pretty good on picks the last couple of years, but I had Florida and Georgia Tech both in the finals, and neither of them making out of a regional was just stunning to me. Yeah.
I thought it was really stunning. No doubt about it. But your thoughts on Ole Miss Auburn? That was a heck of a series, and it was funny because we only had one Super go 3 games, and it was outstanding. North Carolina and USC, and really USC kind of choked it away. North Carolina very, very fortunate to make it, but credit them for coming back. And then you look at it. But I thought going in, and I think we've had you on each week. We all knew that Georgia and Mississippi State had a chance to be special, and those were 2 insane games. And then Ole Miss and Auburn lived up to the billing, even though it didn't go to Game 3 as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Mississippi State just could not beat Georgia for whatever reason. I think obvious reasons Georgia's better, but I mean, all the games were close. Yes. I think State just did the same things. I thought they were very similar ball clubs, and Georgia was just a little better at pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then playing in Foley Field is a huge advantage for Georgia, no doubt.
Yeah, although they tended to win anywhere they played. I mean, they won in Hoover. They won. They had an incredible road. They might have had their best road resume in the history of the SEC. I mean, it was remarkable with those guys. If you look at who they beat and how much they beat them and all those things, they are suited to play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we talked about the 5 SEC teams that are going to be there, and obviously with North Carolina and West Virginia and Troy, like it obviously has kind of a quote unquote southeastern feel to it. With these 5 teams though from the SEC, we know a lot about Georgia. Can the pitching hold up? We know about Texas, all this, but of all the 5 teams, which one do you believe right now is the best set because of how they've played the last couple of weeks to be in the championship series coming up in a few weeks?
Well, I think the way you phrase it is Georgia, because Georgia, you go back, the last loss Georgia had was to Auburn in the last regular season game of the year. Before that, Georgia's last loss was sometime in April, and it's not like they've been playing, little sisters of the poor here. So I think Georgia is the obvious answer, but I think Texas is right there in that discussion for a different reason. I'm working on a piece. I write some for a fantasy baseball magazine and site, and they want a look at who's going to be a valuable fantasy baseball player down the road. And Texas has got more players that I'm writing up than anybody. And I don't mean just guys that are going to be fringe utility players. I mean guys that could be first-round picks and stars in the league. And when you start to unpack that and realize how much Texas has, and then you go back and look at Texas just kind of punted on Hoover. They said, all right, we need to get better. We need to get well and then play that tournament. Texas has been on a pretty good roll since entering the NCAA tournament. It's got its pitching healthier, and I think that's a really, really, really good team too. That I think that Georgia-Texas game is almost a coin flip.
Well, and I'd spin it around because we talked about the SEC. I know that people are going to say, oh, it's a really cool story that Troy's there. I know that, they're a 30-loss team. They played great the second half of the season. The atmosphere in Troy last weekend was great. But can you give us reasons as to why this isn't going to be 2 games and out for Troy?
Well, I mean, they're an old team. 75% of their guys are transfers. They were hot down the stretch. I think they were under 500 at one point in May. Maybe even mid-May. And they've got a catcher named Jimmy Janicki who's going to be probably a first-rounder next year. So, I mean, he really had a good series when I saw him in Gainesville. So I think that's a team that baseball, sometimes it's not about being the best team. It's about being hot at the right time. And I guess if you're here, all those teams can say that, but certainly Troy fits that description.
Well, and I was as stunned as anybody. They had not beaten Alabama since 2019 before COVID, and did beat them the last time 6-1. Alabama led 1-0 into the 6th, but Troy came on and surged and won that game. And many people were not happy about it and didn't think it was a good sign for Alabama. But it was more a sign, I think, of what you just talked about, Troy getting healthy and getting hot. I know they lost that heartbreaker in the Sun Belt on the walk-off granny to Southern Miss, but still they bounced back really nicely. Skylar Meade, to his credit, they probably played as tough a schedule as anyone. That's why they still got in, even though they didn't win the conference tournament. And they've certainly paid that off in spades. Because I'll be honest with you, Chris, I had Florida in the College World Series too. I would have never thought that Troy was going to come out of the loser's bracket. Now, beating Miami is one thing. Okay, you win that game, but then you got to beat Florida twice. And then the way they did it, they just mashed them. I mean, I believe it was a 16-11 game, and then the game 7 was 10-2. I mean, it wasn't even close in the Gators ballpark, and so I think that was kind of a signal. And then Troy, we talked to Barry McKnight, their longtime voice. They got a chance to play an old Sun Belt rival that that's now they're in different conferences, but certainly they beat Little Rock and beat them soundly. And I was kind of joking about that record crowd for beating Alabama at 3,900. As you know, the ballpark, Pace Riddle Field, only holds 2,500, and somehow they paid off the fire marshal to get over. I'm saying that facetiously, but 7,000 plus fans, that's a one heck of an atmosphere for them in those 2 games.
That was a great scene, just seeing the pictures on social media of people watching from the football stadium and those kind of things. I mean, that just creates the look you want if you're college baseball.
It really does. And so now we know one side of the bracket is all SEC. You just mentioned, and I've already heard other people say that I respect, like a Mark Etheridge and stuff, that maybe this first round game with Texas and Georgia could be, the 2 best teams in this tournament. Could be you could argue it's the finals, but it's the first game of the tournament. But Alabama, Oklahoma is interesting because they played in the regular season. Alabama took 2 out of 3, but they were hotly contested games, no question about it. And yet Oklahoma's lineup is swinging much better than it was then. And now they feature 2 freshman pitchers who have really kind of set the tone for their rotation. And Alabama's pitched well all year. It's an interesting first-round matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, so many guys in that lineup are hitting well. They don't have a lot of first-round type guys, but Dayton LaChance and Brendan Brock and a lot of guys in that lineup are guys that could be picked in the top 5 to 10 rounds of various drafts. The pitching is what I just did not believe in to get Oklahoma to this point. I mean, their rotation for the first 2 months was the same. It was the same 3 guys for the most part. And now Cam Johnson has thrown 12 pitches in the tournament. He's a big talent, but he just can't throw strikes. And the Mercurius brothers, LJ and Xander, have swapped roles. LJ was their ace starter for first 2 months, and now he got kicked out. He's pitching better out of the pen. His brother Xander is pitching pretty well in the rotation, and Cord Rager is their best starter. He's a true freshman who was their number 3 all year. Yeah. He's looking at maybe a first-round grade in 2028. They've thrown 15 guys in the regional. And you look on the other side, Alabama is throwing the same half dozen guys. They're not really being pressed in these regionals. You're getting linked out of all 3 of your starters, particularly Tyler Fay, who's thrown a complete game no-hitter. He's old. He's married. I think that's kind of a thing I look at. Like he's a guy that, he's already done some elements of life that most people in college baseball have not, and he's pitched a lot of ball. And I think that is kind of a matchup of steady all year with the same combination of 3 arms against a team that's just been all over the place, but has figured it out in postseason play.
Well, and also looking at these as we're talking about them, we all automatically know there's going to be one SEC team that's going to be in the national championship. But of that breakdown, when you're talking about your North Carolinas, your West Virginias, your Troy, and Ole Miss, which one of those is the most likely do you see making it through all of that to play the SEC team in the national championship?
North Carolina kind of reminds me of a little better version of Alabama with a lot of just really good, solid players. They're good pitching, they're good hitting, but they're not maybe spectacular at each. Of course, Alabama's got Justin LeBron, so they do have a superstar. And then you got West Virginia, which is kind of sneakily talented. Gavin Kelly, their catcher who can play all over the diamond, is a potential 1-1 guy next year in the draft. Max Yell, their lefty who did not pitch at all last year, was the Big 12 pitcher of the year. Now, he's been shaky in the tournament at times, but I think just having a guy like a Max Yell and a couple of other durable starting pitchers and a superstar like Gavin Kelly, don't sleep on West Virginia either.
Well, and then when you look at the other matchup to break down, Ole Miss and North Carolina. North Carolina is a really talented team, but Ole Miss is dangerous, man, because to go to Auburn with those 10,000-plus people, both those games, crazy raucous atmosphere, and win and look as solid as they did. They were another team that got their guts ripped out in Hoover. But as we talked to Jake Thompson yesterday, he made a great point that it was probably for the best because they were able to kind of reset, get healthy, and get their minds right going into the regional, which was a very tough one in Lincoln with Nebraska and Arizona State, and then of course to go to Auburn for the Supers.
Yeah, I don't think any teams had a tougher road to get here. I called that Auburn-Ole Miss series as a coin flip going in. I picked Auburn because I'd picked them before the tournament started. I thought Auburn had an easier path to get there than did Ole Miss. But, I mean, the way Taylor Rabe, who's their 3, is pitching, I mean, he threw, 114 pitches, I think in his first start, or maybe it was last, I don't remember now. It was hitting 96 at over 110 pitches. He doesn't walk anybody. He strikes out a ton of guys. Cade Townsend, their number 2, is probably a number 1 pick in the draft next month. And then on top of that, when you get to Walker Hooks, he's been almost untouchable. Hudson Calhoun has been great. J.P. Robertson, that trio of relievers. And Hunter Elliott's their weak link, guys. I mean, Hunter Elliott's been one of the most accomplished pitchers in Ole Miss history. He's the guy of their top 6 arms that I'd prefer Ole Miss not throw, but he's won games in the College World Series and gotten Ole Miss a national title. So maybe that experience they lean on, maybe he can get back to where he was. I think they are a very interesting team because of those 6 arms. And they've got to hit. There's a ton of swing and miss in that lineup, and that's why they're inconsistent, but the pitching has gotten them here.
Well, and as Joe said, there's going to be one SEC team, but is it all SEC? Does Ole Miss make it to the finals, or how do you see it?
I'm taking Ole Miss because of the pitching, but I mean, if you said it's North Carolina or West Virginia, I'm not shocked. The only thing that would surprise me would be to see Troy in there. No offense to your state, but I just think that the other teams are more suited to pitch it better than Troy is, and pitching is what's going to win you games in this format.
Chris, I know we only got you for a few more seconds, but was I being too harsh on the USC outfielder for not making the catch to end the game?
I don't know. I was watching the broadcast. They were talking about how he was playing very shallow because it was 2 outs and, that kind of thing. I'd have to watch it again, like on a full outfield view, but that felt like a ball. And I don't know if he thought, I'm about to run into the wall. Like the decisions you make in a split second and the decisions you make as you're sitting here, like the three of us having to plot it out sometimes are different. I know when I was watching it, they remarked immediately like, okay, he was playing very shallow, but it did feel like a ball that you see most outfielders get to.
Yeah, like I again, for me, and I played outfield in college. I'm thinking, if I break my arm or my collarbone to make the catch, we're at least going to the ninth inning tied. And the way that he pulled up, I'm just going, bro, it's not like you just slid and it's like, oh crap, we lost this game in the middle of March. Like this ended your season, and it looked like you just crap. I didn't get there in time. Sorry.
Yeah, there was a burst lacking that you do see in other circumstances, I think.
Okay.
Well, great stuff from Chris Lee. Let everybody know I know you guys are going to be all over the College World Series and breaking it down because it's almost an SEC invitational, but let everybody know how to follow you.
Yeah, any game involving SEC teams will probably go live afterwards at Southeastern 16. We've got previews up of all the super regionals that involve SEC teams. And, of course, we're getting into football and even off-season basketball coverage as we cover the big three men's sports in our favorite conference.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. That is Chris Lee, Southeastern 16. Absolutely amazing and knowledgeable guy out of Nashville that knows everything about college baseball, and he has been a great guy to have on Talking Ball throughout the years, and we appreciate him for hopping on. And you got to see him on camera as well as just watching on WZZN TV.
Sounded great.
He sounded amazing. For a second, I had to look beside me. I thought, man, that man is in the room with us. When we come back, your phone calls, we wrap up the first hour of Talking Ball at 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Couple of accidents. 69 and 4th Avenue in Coleman. That's slowing you down just a bit. The one creating the biggest problem is right now is at Mountain Gap in the Parkway northbound. It's got traffic backed up quite a ways, so you need to be careful if you're headed in that way. You may want to take Green Cove and go around that way. That'll get you out of that mess, at least temporarily. Still have traffic, stop-and-go traffic, heavy traffic on the Parkway from there northbound all the way up to 565 and 565 northbound, or Memorial Parkway to northbound, westbound 565 is a little bit of a problem. It's just slowing down right there at the ramp, and you're looking good to go eastbound on 565. Keep the seatbelts buckled and be safe. With the most accurate traffic report in Tennessee Valley, I'm David Cruz, Mr. Traffic.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and our employee pricing for everyone is in high gear right now at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. That's right, everyone in the Tennessee Valley can get our special Ford employee pricing on over 280 available new Fords. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 25 F-150s and up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos. With your good credit, you can save thousands with financing as low as 0% on select new models. And always remember, Lynn Layton Ford will never charge you any mysterious dock fee or some hidden markup. It's simple. You pay what we pay on 280 new Fords. That's right, $15,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s, $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos, or lock in 0% financing on select new models. Come see us at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Phil Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well, with state-of-the-art facilities.
I am so glad the music started because Drew and I are sitting here and I am breaking down this North Carolina USC game.
Yeah, I was watching the Knicks, USC. The Spurs, no USC.
Yeah. Same thing. I'm about to show Drew during the break the foul ball that USC missed.
We call that an Arkansas.
Second hour of Talking Ball because coming up next.
They cost themselves the national championship botching a freaking foul ball.
Oh, just wait till you see this one. We come back on Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
One thing, let's see.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Line movement in Troy's opening game of the College World Series at Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow. The Mountaineers of West Virginia bet up from a $2.10 favorite to a $2.30 favorite. And Troy plus 175 on the money line in the Trojans' opening game of the College World Series. Also line movement in the North Carolina Ole Miss matchup. The Tar Heels bet down to a $1.60 favorite over the Rebels. Saturday, Alabama laying $1.20 against Oklahoma minus 110. Texas, $1.35 favorite over Georgia. Atlanta Braves today, $1.20 road dog at the White Sox, 8.5 over at Rate Field. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Today should be a national holiday. Don't know if you know or not. Talking Ball, Joe Hunk, Drew DeArmond, Scott Tyson is up in the great Northwest celebrating his son's graduation in Oregon. So he will be back next week. So we appreciate him I'm going to be here for the next hour, and then see Moulton's going to take over for the 9 o'clock hour. And then tomorrow we got best of, and then Steve will be back with Drew Monday and Tuesday of next week. If you don't have that written down on your calendar like you should, it's okay. We will remind you as time goes along about who all's going to be here. Drew had to step out because he's nervously.
I had to get a Drew 0.
Yeah, he had to nervously walk around because he is so hyped up for Mexico and South Africa, which is starting at 1 o'clock today.
I had to walk away after watching the sorry-ass defense from the USC Trojans that cost them a chance to play extra innings and I will apologize. I thought I had heard the foul ball was when they were still winning. It was not. It was a tie game.
It's the exact same at bat.
Yeah, the same hitter. The third baseman, doesn't do a great job of tracking the foul pop. But I will say, in his defense, the ball was right up against the netting, so I'll give him that. I think the center fielder was even worse.
Oh, the center fielder's play.
Because that ball wasn't even against the wall, okay? There was no netting, no wall. If you get a good jump like you're supposed to and you're not playing too shallow, you catch that ball against the warning track.
So
I'm sorry.
There's sometimes where people want to sit and they'll want to roll their eyes like, oh, these two guys should be calling this. Let me emphasize this. Okay, so playing baseball my entire life, all the way through college, I have been in situations, obviously not in a super regional to make it to a College World Series. Right. I'm just going to be straight. I have not. But don't come at me with this whole, oh, well, you've never been in that situation. The problem is that I've been in a lot of situations, and I know how I handle all of those.
Well, you played college baseball. You played outfield.
And I played outfield, and I also understand part of your job before every single pitch is to go, okay, we have 2 outs. There's runners on first and second right now. There's no chance I need to make this catch, because if I have the ability to make the catch, we go to extra innings. We've already blown the lead. We had a 1-run lead coming into this inning. We've blown that. We've already pulled our closer. Make the catch. That's all I'm thinking about. Make the catch. I promise you, there is not a wall on this earth that I would have been scared to run into trying to make that catch if it meant that my college baseball career or even my season would have continued. There is not a chance that I don't do that. And the foul ball was even worse, because the foul ball, it's winner. You either A, make the catch and go into extra innings, or B, you miss the ball because you tried too hard and the at-bat continues. There is no win or lose in that situation. And for a third baseman who has numerous times been told, you go up to the wall. If the ball is trailing towards the wall, you look, you find the wall, you go up against the wall, you put your hand on it so you know where it's at as you track the ball. He was starting to slow down when he was still 7 steps away from the wall. Like both of those, I have no clue how that happens to either one of those guys.
Well, look, both of them were bad, but at least, again, like I said, the ball was up against the netting. I can understand that because the netting can be a deterrent, okay? But there was no deterrent in center field, and that guy got a terrible jump on that ball. And then to make it worse, he slides. Like what the hell are you doing? I would have to ask if he was related to Brendan Sorsby.
It blew. When I watched it, I thought, did he just think there was one out? Like, did he not?
Were you shaving points, or were you on the take?
Was it $500?
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that to the third baseman because, again, there was a net there.
You could at least see him start to panic. I don't know where the fence is. I'm tracking the ball. I don't know where the fence is. The center fielder, that one is do or die.
I mean, that he even when he slid, Joe, he didn't hit the wall.
No.
Okay.
He slid onto the track.
That was horrendous outfield defense. That was horrid.
256-576-4977. Let's go to the phone lines. Brandon, welcome in, man. How's it going?
Uh-oh. What do we got going on here?
I thought I had my own interview for a second.
Uh-oh. Man.
Talk radio, WZZM.
There it is.
For a second, I thought I was listening to Bloodsport.
I thought I was listening to some riff off Miami Vice.
That's it.
Because Brandon's an 80s kid.
Sports radio.
From high atop Fox News headquarters in New York City.
Oh, my God.
Approachable radio host in America. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Oh, my.
Well, he is not the most.
What are you doing? What happened?
What are you doing, dude?
What happened? Wait,
Brandon,
that wasn't Brandon the whole time? I thought that was Brandon the whole time.
Once again, this Comrex on the other side that bleeds in. What the hell? I mean, come on, man.
Oh, wait, that was a technical issue.
Yeah, we've had it go on for a while.
I seriously thought that was a bit with Brandon. I
really did at first. At first, I thought Brandon was doing his own bit, and you've got to unplug the Comrex because it's bleeding in again. Do we have you, Brandon?
No, we don't. We don't have Brandon. Brandon, call back in. We're going to get to
call back in, bud. We got to get this thing fixed. It's only happened 3 or 4 times.
So yesterday, just because I just love seeing Drew's reaction to this with how funny it is while we wait on Brandon to get called back in, because our sister station decided he wanted to pop in for a second.
Yeah, it happened. It happened with Anthony Dasher. We were trying to get Dash on, and it just kept bleeding in. We couldn't hear Dash at all. I mean, it wasn't his fault at all. It was just like, what in the blue blazes is going on?
For a second, I was worried because my son's over in that studio, and I thought, oh man, did he?
Now what? Are the phones down? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, now the phones are down. Maybe the phones need to be down in Lubbock, Texas.
No, I've never seen this before.
Oh, that's how when it restarts.
It's doing something we don't know.
Yeah, now when it restarts, I think that's when it does that. In Lubbock, Texas, maybe they should not be having any phones or anything going on right now, because there are people in Texas Tech that are now saying that they're planning on meeting about potentials of lawsuits of their own.
Well, we may need Steve Moulton to come in here earlier and try to help us get the phones reset. I don't know what's going on, but something just fried, I guess, and we can't hear Brandon anymore, and we can't take phone calls. We apologize, everyone. We don't know what's going on with this dumpster fire.
It's the summer heat. The summer heat has fried everything. I think it's only like 80 degrees outside, if that whatsoever out there. Yeah, absolutely. John can get on the phone lines and he can act as everybody. Like, all right, let's go in and let's see who John's acting as right now on there. Well, they all just need to be Chris Lee, because Chris Lee sounded amazing. Maybe he just ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, he sounded great.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take an early break, so John's not having to do 16 things at one time.
Need to get these phones reset.
Get everything reset, okay? 256-576-4977. Let everybody take a deep breath. Drew's going to go get him some more Drew Zero over there. We're going to continue this as we get back into your phone calls, hopefully when we come back on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Have you tried indoor golf yet? You need to check out The Golfus. The Golfus is Huntsville's newest, nicest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue. Spend an hour on the virtual range working on your game, or play more than 2,000 golf courses. Our grand opening pricing makes us the best value in town. And if you really love it, grab a limited time, unlimited golf membership for only $99 a month. Get all of the details at thegolfus.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Cummins has kept the world running for more than 100 years. Since their founding in 1919, Cummins has been dedicated to leading the charge towards a future with smarter, cleaner power. Cummins sales and service locations are right where you need them when you need your engine or generator set service. And now, Cummins has a new Huntsville branch opening June 10th. They're located on Highway 31 in Tanner, just north of Calhoun College. Cummins expert technicians will keep you up and running. Call them at 205-808-2210.
At Kern Electrical, we're more than just a Generac generator dealer. We're your partners in ensuring your home or business never loses power, especially when it matters most. Call 256-880-1880 today or visit gensuperstore.com for reliable power solutions that work when you need them most.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be part of the Southeastern Conference? That yours is the only conference with its own chant? Well, yes, but it means more than that. It means a study abroad program that might include reforestation in a mangrove swamp in Australia. It means finding your calling, your future spouse, your startup's co-founders, and of course, grilling tongs that play your fight song. This is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle. The same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and our employee pricing for everyone is in high gear right now at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. That's right, everyone in the Tennessee Valley can get our special Ford employee pricing on over 280 available new Fords. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 25 F-150s and up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos. With your good credit, you can save thousands with financing as low as 0% on select new models. And always remember, Lynn Layton Ford will never charge you any mysterious dock fee or some hidden markup. It's simple. You pay what we pay on 280 new Fords. That's right, $15,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s. $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos, or lock in 0% financing on select new models. Come see us at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
ESPN The Zone, Talking Ball.
Apologies to Brandon, not his fault. Just got some technical issues over here at the station we're trying to work through. It's something that sometimes it's out of your control.
I just love the fact that we all thought it was Brandon doing a bit.
Yeah, because
I love that.
Brandon's got that dry sense of humor, man, and he can do some things. And I thought he was coming up with something New York related because of the gag job by the Spurs, and then of course the Knicks finding a way to come back from the 29-point deficit. And he listens to us. We greatly appreciate his support, but he listens to a lot of sports talk radio. And so I thought he had found a bit that he was going to play for us. But we are certainly efforting to fix our phone situation. So any of the listeners out there, anybody wanting to join us, we are definitely working on that, and we're trying to get it fixed up. But and then we are going to be featuring Creg Stephenson of AL.com via our WCZN TV. He's going to join us and hopefully be able to talk some Troy Trojans as they are in Omaha. As them in West Virginia, that's going to kind of be the Cinderella game.
Yes,
because both have never been before. West Virginia was able to be very, very impressive in coming back. And honestly, they had a North Carolina level comeback. We haven't really talked about it all week, but it was heartbreaking for Kentucky because Kentucky really looked like they had that regional one on more than one occasion. They blew a 9-6 lead in what would have been Game 6 and would have ended the regional. And West Virginia was trying to come out of the losers bracket, and West Virginia scored 5 runs and walked it off with a home run, 11-9. And then they came back from another deficit against Kentucky in Game 7 to win and get to the Supers and host. And then, as we know, they were able to win that super regional and march on. So, against Cal Poly, who they crushed 2-0. So that Troy and West Virginia, that's going to be a very interesting matchup, and look forward to hopefully being able to get Creg Stephenson on the line and be able to talk some Troy Trojans, as he does a great job covering them, Joe, for AL.com.
Absolutely. And I know that obviously you also have the Brendan Sorsby story continues to kind of float around, and everything kind of comes out in waves. Every single day, it's like a new little tidbit that kind of comes out. Ross Dillinger was reporting late yesterday that Texas Tech is going to meet on any Sorsby-related sanctions with lawsuits of their own. He said that representatives of Texas Tech have notified conference officials that any Big 12 sanction would be met with another courtroom challenge, according to those familiar with discussions. In fact, school representatives are actively exploring potential legal action not only against the league itself, but individual conference universities whose officials claim they would not play the Red Raiders.
Give me a break, man. That's such a bunch of sanctimonious BS. Because, look, Texas Tech is causing all this. If another quarterback had a gambling issue like Sorsby did, they'd be raising hell not wanting to play against him either. The only thing they're wanting to do is circumvent the rules and get some guy they think is going to help them win on the field, and they probably still won't win anything because they'll choke their ass off just like they did in the playoff a year ago. Or several months ago. It's not even been a calendar year, but I'm just saying Texas Tech has no history, and they're trying to buy their way into a championship. They still haven't won anything, as our good friend Brad Kellner said yesterday from Locked On Longhorns. He covers Texas, each and every day, and the Big 12 and Texas Tech on his daily radio show on AM 1300 there in Austin. But come on, I mean, give me a break, man. I'm already sick and tired of the Texas Tech thing.
Well, and I think for me the question is, what is the end game? Like, you look at the end game for a lot of stuff is, when I always go back to Nick Saban and the fact that at SEC Media Days he always has a message. Like, he has an end game. Like, he's already looking at step Z and he's only on step B before he even walks into SEC Media Days because he's trying to get to that certain outcome. What outcome are we trying to get to, and is Texas Tech trying to get to? Is it as deep as that, or is it as deep as hey, look, we just want him to play?
They just want him to play so they can win games. That's it. Period. End of story. That's why they're paying him $5 million, and that's why they bought him out of the transfer portal, because they think he can help them win a national championship, which isn't going to happen. But I'm sorry, they think they can do that because they can spend a lot of money. But that's the only reason that they're going to bat for this is because of how the kind of player he is. If this was some backup quarterback, they would have already booted him out of school.
So that's what I'm saying. Is if this was somebody that was your third string guy, that, was the Georgia quarterback that got pulled over doing 140, and he's like, Coach, come on. Our starter got pulled over to 140, and he didn't get anything. Well, you're the backup. Like, it's a little bit different with you than what it would be for anybody else. And I'm just blown away at the idea of how this would potentially go with this as well, because I don't understand the end game part of it, the 2 and 3 steps down the road type stuff of what are you trying to do other than the fact that you just want somebody to be there and to play, and that's all that you're currently thinking about. That's it. That's the part I don't understand. That's where I'm confused in all of this. Because what else could it be? Like, are you trying because you are Texas Tech and you have a fight the system? Like, I've got the money. Majority of the time, you get big boyed until you can't afford to be able to fight anymore.
Look, they're just trying to take advantage of the system and the way it is. But with what Sorsby did, there is no recourse. He doesn't deserve to play because he broke the rules. There have to be consequences for your actions, not just you go get some honk Texas Tech judge to put up an injunction so he can play. I mean, this guy's a scumbag. He's a degenerate gambler who could even compromise your football program, and they don't seem to care. They seem to say, well, we put him in treatment, he's going to be okay. But I'll say it again. If he was some third-string podunk who couldn't play, their asses would have already quietly booted him off the team. And we wouldn't even have heard about this addiction and whatever happened. We heard about it because the guy's Sorsby, and they got him out of the portal as one of the most high-profile free agents in college football. And then, of course, as we know, he's also embroiled in a controversy with Cincinnati because he owes them money trying to buy him out. because of him, because he had already agreed, I think, to a contract and whatnot, and they want money back from him leaving to go to Cincinnati to Texas Tech for more money.
So the head coach for Texas Tech held a press conference.
Joey McGuire, yeah.
And here's what he had to say about everything. No, never mind. He didn't say anything about it. That was exactly when this started messing up on me again.
Oh.
So it started to mess up on me as well.
Well, Brandon says he's on hold.
Oh, this is awesome.
He texted me and said he's on hold. I don't know if that's actually the case. Brandon, are you on hold? I hear something.
There we go.
I'm here. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. Steve Moulton got here, and we have now everything is cool. Good job, Steve. We appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
What's up, Brandon?
Well, just make sure don't hook Tom's pacemaker to the Comrex anymore, and this probably won't happen again.
Yeah.
Or should we?
I mean, Steve gets here within 2 minutes. We're rolling. So we appreciate Steve very much.
Could blame it on the ghost of Jason Marks. Something to that effect.
Nah, he never worked here, bro.
I was sitting here while y'all were doing that, and I was checking out an update from Giselle Hood. Is she invited to the Rocket City Awards?
I haven't seen the guest list, my friend. I don't know.
Well, is it going to start with the roast of Steve Moulton, or are we going to get it rolling?
See, look.
At a high pace?
Here's my thing.
Right.
I think that we should make this more fun.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely, we do it very serious at times. I get it. I do think that we should make this a little bit more fun. You don't want me to be the roaster because I am too big of an a-hole. I will piss people off.
Okay.
I am.
Oh, man.
Like I thought about doing this with the Spraggies. And I even told people, I was like,
Steve hosts the Spraggies.
Yeah, Steve and I did it this year, and I was like, I can't roast because I know way too much about everybody.
Yeah.
That I could make the jokes that everybody would get, but at the same time be like, oh dang, I can't believe he just said that out loud. See, that would be me.
Uh-oh.
And so I can't do that because I know that I will make some people mad. I absolutely will.
Well, if Ronnie Stapler got up and gave the Moron of the Year award, that might be a highlight.
Yeah, the Moron of the Year.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I mean, that would be really, really good stuff. And while we're ragging on stuff, you guys, you know what? You remember the old dot matrix printers that sounded like a machine gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were in school?
Right.
Okay, y'all used to have a guy that did traffic, that was how he talked.
Yes. I think it's because he's reading it off that.
And now I see him riding with Granny Clampett and Jet up on Sand Mountain with Dino and them while he's doing traffic. So I just wanted to say it's a hell of a gear change.
Yeah, it has been different. No doubt about that, Brandon.
All right, Brandon. We got to go. We got everything situated, man. Hey, we appreciate the call.
Go ahead, Brandon. As you're going out.
Y'all were on the doorstep of having 4 state of Alabama teams.
Yeah.
Get to the College World Series.
Yeah. Right.
Had that happened and UCLA not have made it, I wonder what the outcry would have been.
We got to now make it a 98 team field.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there would have been people. Oh, the World Series will now be a 16 team field.
Yeah, yeah. They'll start the College World Series at the Super Regional stage.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming, and to the coach at Jack State, dude, you got to let the ink on the contract dry before you get out of town. Roll Tide.
Thank you.
Speaking of ink and paper, here's what Joey McGuire said.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Sorsby is recovering from an addiction. He's recovering. Like, I've sat down with this young man multiple times, and the things that he is going through and what he's been through is serious. As a society, we've been okay with other things that happens and allowing players to play, and this has been the one thing that has united people that we're against, you know. And it's crazy because it's not murder, it's not beating somebody, or so there's a lot of things that we're working through.
Yeah.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly partly sunny sky this afternoon, maybe a passing shower. Otherwise, it is going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the lower 90s. It'll feel like it's in the upper 90s or even the lower triple digits. Typical summer weather across the Tennessee Valley. We only drop into the lower 70s as we head into the overnight. Upper 80s, lower 90s for your Friday with a better opportunity for scattered showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Kill anybody. We're just talking about gambling. That's it. That's all we're talking about, gambling.
And probably throwing games. But that's all.
And this is what wants to unite the country. That is what Texas Tech head coach. Oh, that is so great. I mean, he didn't kill anybody. He just bet on some games that he was a part of.
Yeah.
No big deal. 256-576-4977 is the phone lines that you can get into here in just a little bit as we continue to go throughout the day today as we all get ready for the College World Series that gets going tomorrow afternoon from Omaha, Nebraska, and it is scheduled to be beautiful throughout the tournament for the most part.
It sounds like it.
It's scheduled to be nice, maybe a little humid after, a couple afternoon or evening showers, but a high one day is going to be about 78 degrees. And there are a lot of people from Central Alabama that is about to go to Omaha for the very first time in the Troy Trojans.
Well, no, I mean, it's a quarter of the field is from the state of Alabama. We nearly had 3. Auburn hosted a super. It was, we had 3 teams from the state of Alabama hosting super regionals. Auburn had a hell of a year. I thought certainly they were going to go to Omaha, but they played a really tough opponent in Ole Miss, who has a ton of talent and who got there. And so kudos to Ole Miss. But really the biggest story in college baseball is Troy and Skylar Meade and the Trojans. They're making their first ever Division I trip to Omaha in the College World Series under of course, Coach Riddle. They were able to win 2 national championships in 86 and 87 and did a heck of a job on the Division II level. And they've been a really solid program on the D1 level for many years. They've made regionals before, but this is the first time they've gone to the super regional round and now to the College World Series. And Skylar Meade and the guys and the boys, that's the thing about the College World Series. You earn your way there. And they certainly had to do that going through the Gainesville Regional and then hosting the Supers, which was an insane environment over there at Pace Riddle Field. And we're going to talk about that with AL.com's Creg Stephenson, who has covered the Troy Trojans and Jack State and a lot of the group of 6, I call them, programs in our state. And he's been kind enough to join us on the WZZN TV and the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to talk some Troy Trojans. Creg, you're with Drew and Joe Hunk. Good morning. How are you?
Hey guys, good to be on with you.
Yeah, thank you for being with us, man. What a journey for Troy, though. This was a program, we talked to Chris Lee in hour 1 of Southeastern 16, and he made a great point that, earlier this season, they played a brutal schedule, but they were, later in the year, they were still under 500 and got hot at the right time. They're 38-30 now. They overcame some, gut-wrenching heartbreak in the Sun Belt Conference tournament against Southern Miss. But Skylar Meade, this was kind of the formula he put together, playing as tough a schedule as anyone in college baseball so he could get into the regionals and not have to depend on winning the conference tournament and being in a one-bid league.
Yeah, they almost overdid it because, like you said, they were 22-24 at one point. They have 30 losses, which I don't think there's anybody ever been in Omaha. You rarely see a team with even 25 losses get to Omaha. They've got 30. But, yeah, they were 22-24. They've been 16-6 since then. But obviously that schedule prepared them for what they were going to face in the postseason. They had a walk-off Grand Slam loss to Southern Miss in the Sun Belt tournament in the first round, or I guess second round. And I thought, well, these guys are done. There's no way they can come back from that. And then they won 2 games the next day and, stayed alive. They beat Southern Miss the next day, which is probably the win that got them in the field of 64. Obviously, they go down to Florida, lose their first game there, then won 4 consecutive elimination games and just bludgeon Florida back-to-back. I mean, the first game was 16-11, but it was 16-5 in about the 7th inning. And then they blew them out in game 2. So, yeah, it's they got a lot of guys that can really hit. They've got some guys who throw hard. The command and control kind of leaves them at sometimes with the pitching staff. But they're dangerous. There's no question about it. And they're on kind of the easier side of the bracket. They're not in the SEC Invitational side of the bracket. They've got Ole Miss, West Virginia, North Carolina, which is a very, very good team. But they got a chance to make a run, I think.
Well, and I'm curious about this whole season as a whole and the whole quote-unquote turnaround. Like you did. You talk about a team that's 38-30 overall, and you start going, okay, I know that they made it into the tournament. I know that they had a resume like this, but where did this team turn into one that you're going, yep, I can see them in Omaha. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know if we ever actually thought that until they beat Florida the second time. I mean, because I was always like, because their bullpen is really shaky at times. They had some games, where they beat South Alabama in the Sun Belt tournament once. I think they were up 11-1 going in the ninth, and they won 11-10. And so I'm not sure. You saw the talent for sure. There was definitely talent. Jimmy Janicki, Sun Belt Player of the Year, is probably going to be a first round pick in the 27 draft. They have some power conference transfers, some really good junior college transfers. Which at this level, if you can score on your class of junior college guys, you got a real opportunity. But the talent's there. Skylar Meade will tell you he knew it all along, but if your team was that good, why'd you lose 30 games? That's the kind of thing to think about. But they got talent. There's for sure. But they just have happened to get hot at the right time, killing the ball offensively and getting just enough pitching to get the job done.
Does this team have the pitching to make a run? I mean, look, I know that you're talking about the offense. I know the ERAs. I know what the bullpen is right now. But let's be honest. You're now going into a tournament where you're going to be facing West Virginia, Ole Miss, North Carolina. That's just to get to the championship round.
Right.
Do they have the arms?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. They certainly have some guys with stuff. Like I said, Benjamin Stubb and Tommy Egan, I guess, will be their first two starters. They've been weekend guys all year long. If you look at the numbers, like you said, they got ERAs in the high 4s and 5s. Both can throw the ball hard. They can put stuff on the ball, especially Egan. And then after that, Zach Crotchfeld is a guy who once pitched at Auburn, has been kind of a middle relief guy. They'll go to him for 4 or 5 innings at a time if they get in trouble. He's probably the most talented arm on the staff, but they like him in that role. They haven't really used him as a starter very much. Beyond that, the back end of the bullpen guys, though, Dylan Alonso, Matt Dill, among others, they're shaky. They really are. I mean, again, it's arm talent, but not necessarily command and control you need to succeed. And, with the way the ball doesn't really carry much sometimes out in Omaha, it depends. I think they're going to have to outscore people, but is that ballpark conducive to doing that? I don't know. I mean, I think they can make a run, but if they went 0-2, I wouldn't be shocked either.
Well, and here's the thing, too, and it looks like with the landscape, we'll see, but that Troy may be able to hold on to Skylar Meade for another year, because the one thing you fear now, of course, they may lose some players to the transfer portal after this journey is over, but Skylar Meade, I thought he might end up at South Carolina because we know he came there as for his pitching coach, but they did get the deal done with Kevin Schnall from Coastal. So, Craig, what are the chances that Skylar Meade comes back to Troy for another year? Does it look promising?
Yeah, I'm like you. I thought as soon as, when that South Carolina job came open, that Skylar Meade was going to be a real candidate because he was the pitching coach there. But they made it, they went the other direction. All the Trojans obviously breathed a sigh of relief. I'm looking, I don't think there's an ACC job open, and he has roots there. He pitched at Louisville, and he's from, and he also was at Michigan State at one time. So the place where he has a background, there's not really any openings. Now, we could see a late move, like last year when we saw Tony Vitello leave for Major League Baseball during the offseason. Maybe something comes open late in the SEC or ACC in that regard. But right now, I think the chances are pretty good that he's back. And, of course, if he's back, that means I can hold on to a lot of those talented. Like I said, Jimmy Janicki's just a sophomore. Certainly would be one of the top players in the portal. If he went in the portal, he's a potential first-round pick next year. But if they keep Meade, obviously they got a great chance to retain him.
Well, and with the city of Troy, the university itself, I lived in Montgomery for 4 years. So I've been around Troy for a while. I had family that went to Troy. The realistic opportunity that they have in being able to take this and building off of it, as compared to the first thing you just said is, Janicki goes in the transfer portal. That man's going to make money NIL-wise, and he's going to be able to go to a much bigger program. What direction can Troy take this? Because, yes, they're making the College World Series. They also still lost 30 games. It's still, that's still there.
It's a good question. I mean, they're with the mid-major programs, obviously you don't have to worry as much about losing your juniors to the draft. They do have a lot of really good players that are juniors. Aaron Pisecki, the shortstop, among others. Jay Boroff, the kind of sensational junior college transfer catcher DH, is a junior, so he's draft eligible. That sort of thing. It kind of depends on if Meade comes back and if they bring back the bulk of the talent. It's been a really good year athletically for Troy across the board. Their football team played the Sun Belt title. The basketball team made the NCAA tournament. Baseball, is made the run they've made. And you really got to credit the administration down there. They take it seriously. It's not like a lot of schools that we know of that are in larger cities that don't really get as much attention. Troy, it's the main game down there. So they are able to, the people in town, everybody there supports Troy, and they have really been able to seize on that. And you saw that in the Super Regional when they had 7,000-8,000 people at games.
Yeah, that's crazy because as we know the place only holds 2,500, and they had set a record when they beat Alabama of 3,900, but we're talking almost double that, both those games, Craig. It was an unbelievable atmosphere and great publicity on national television for the university.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could see when they panned out some of the wide shots, you could see people standing in the football stadium at the top of the bleachers looking over into the baseball stadium. It was incredible. It really was. And you're right. I mean, it just, when you make a run on national television, just like an NCAA basketball tournament, it gets your name out there. And, there may be players out there that, some of these guys on this team, Janicki's from suburban Chicago. Aaron Pisecki, I think, is from Michigan. I mean, so you maybe guys in other parts of the country see this team and like what they're about and, want to find out more and maybe wind up playing for Troy.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And then, and before we let you go, this is Creg Stephenson, AL.com. I think it's a very winnable game. Certainly won't be easy against West Virginia, but you're one game away from one win from being in the. You're basically a semifinalist at that point. So that's insane. But what are your thoughts on their chances of beating West Virginia? And then certainly it'll be a tough matchup with North Carolina or Ole Miss, but with the schedule they played, they're not going to be intimidated. But the biggest thing is, what about the matchup with West Virginia?
Yeah, West Virginia can really hit the ball. We saw that in their Super Regional, and so I think it's going to be probably a slugfest kind of game. But again, it depends on how the stadium plays out there, how hot it is, how well the ball's traveling, and all that kind of stuff. And I think you guys said earlier the weather's going to be fairly clear, so I guess that's good. Maybe that helps the offense a little bit. It's going to be tough. I could see them beating West Virginia. North Carolina, though, and Ole Miss, I don't know about that. I mean, it's possible. You may beat them. They beat Georgia once. They beat Alabama once, but they didn't beat them twice. So that sort of thing. So if they are still around on, I guess it's Monday because they would play their second game Sunday. If they're still around on Monday, I think that's a huge win for Troy.
No doubt. Well, Craig, we appreciate the time and the insight. Let everybody know how to follow you and your coverage of Troy and this College World Series trip.
Sure. AL.com sports, AL.com/Troy. I'm on social media at Creg Stephenson, CregStephenson. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, as he hopped on WCZ
Sounded great.
TV.
Good job, guys.
Sounded tremendous on there. We appreciate him doing so as well. Now, phone lines are back up and rolling, so you can give us a call at 256-576-4977. Steve Moulton's going to be tagging in for me as I am going to be heading out, and he will be in the rest of the way, all the way until Scott Tyson gets back from Oregon next week on there.
Then he'll probably maybe tagging with me because then I got to go to Jacksonville State and not Tuscaloosa, so that's just the way it is. As I think Bruce Horton's be in the range saying.
I think then we're going to just all make a road trip to Omaha. Let's all just go ahead and do that. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Hunk is out. I am in. That is Drew DeArmond spinning all the platters. How does he say it? Stacks of wax. Drew, I'm just so glad that New York Knicks fans have something to be, because New York fans have had nothing to be happy about for the longest time. I'm just so happy for it.
Well, I added to the Drew-and-Ary with De'Aaron choke. Because he's a clown.
Just hold the ball.
Just hold the ball
and
dribble
as soon as he tapped it,
until they
I
foul
said all
you,
you
moron.
got to do is hold it. For those of you that listen to me that call Charger games, I don't know how many times I've said, you just got to hold it. That's all you got to do is just hold the ball.
And then you get fouled and hopefully make free throws. And then Wimby overrated is out there trying to guard a damn three-point shooter.
I'm not going to say overrated. I mean,
9 of 25 from the floor, choking at the free throw line.
He's 22 years old.
And then he's sitting there trying to block threes. Get your big 7'5" ass under the basket and get a rebound.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to hear on this particular program because it's a Stephen A. love fest right now.
Yeah, Stephen A. stupid.
So the Spurs are the better team.
Of course they are.
The Spurs are the better. Now, this is what I love about sports because it's not always the better team that wins. But an amazing comeback And I was texting with a few other play-by-play guys last night. And
no, it was a choke job.
There was one guy who said, yeah, I'm sure Pop's going to be – Pop's like, dancing right now. And then an hour later I get –
yeah,
never mind.
That's absolutely an abomination. Whoever the schmuck is that's the head coach, and I don't even know his name, he should be fired.
This is
immediately.
This is as much as I've watched a First Take in a long, long time. I'm ready to. Oh, okay, sweet. It's on my app. Okay, so I can change it over.
No, I mean, trust me. We talked about it in the first hour of the show. I only watched.
Listening.
I only listened to like the last or watched the last 30+ seconds of the show. So.
Wow.
Of the game or whatever.
That'll wake me up.
Just to see if the Spurs would complete the choke job, and DeArmond choke certainly did that. I mean,
phone lines are open to you if you would like to partake in them here this Thursday morning. 256-576.
And see it's so disgusting with the NBA what it looks like today. It's common to blow 25 and 30-point leads because these guys don't know how to play.
4-977.
I mean, there's no situational awareness. There's no fundamentals. These dudes suck.
2 in the books. 1 more to go on a Thursday.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Cummins has kept the world running for more than 100 years. Since their founding in 1919, Cummins has been dedicated to leading the charge towards a future with smarter, cleaner power. Cummins sales and service locations are right where you need them when you need your engine or generator set service. And now, Cummins has a new Huntsville branch opening June 10th. They're located on Highway 31 in Tanner, just north of Calhoun College. Cummins expert technicians will keep you up and running. Call them at 205-808-2210. Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
This hour of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by Hyundai Decatur, located on the Beltline.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Well, we've continued the program during the break, but, I mean, truth be told, that game was lost when, listen, the way San Antonio shot the ball in the first half was almost their undoing in the second half, because they just kept chucking it and chucking it and chucking it rather than being a little more balanced because of how effective they were shooting in the first half. But I will say, to Mike Brown's credit, Mike Brown is out coaching
who? I mean, I don't know who the coach is for the Spurs. Who?
Mitch
Moron. That's what they ought to nickname him. He's a joke.
Because when the Knicks went smaller and tried to speed it up, because you're down 29, you're down 27 at halftime, you have to speed up the game. You have to create more possessions. You have to, because that's your only chance. And the Spurs, rather than maybe slowing it down a little bit,
kept chunking it. Just stupid.
Stupid
basketball.
On it, I've seen quite a few basketball games in my day, but when one team dictates the tempo and starts to get a little bit of rhythm, and you don't change the lineup, kudos to the Knicks. Yeah, kudos to the Knicks, because there for a while I was thinking, okay, New York will lose by 7. And they're getting a little, momentum in the fourth quarter that'll take them into San Antonio. But then they kept chucking it, and they kept chucking it. And I was like, wow, they've got a real opportunity here with under 2. And when they missed the layup, when New York stole it and missed the layup.
The dunk, the heart.
Well, it should have been a dunk.
Yeah, whatever.
But when that miss happened, I was like, oh, wow, that's going to cost them. I really genuinely thought, wow, they were that close. They were that close, and that's going to cost them. But Spurs said, nah, we're good. Nah, here you go, New York. We're good.
Yeah, Windbin choker. Couldn't make a free throw.
Here is the call. First, actually, tell me what you think. This is both calls from both radio networks. And
I'm sorry, Windbin overrated.
5.7 left. No timeouts remaining. Anunoby is handed the ball. Finds Brunson at midcourt. Launches a straight on 3. Missed it short. Tip by Anunoby. He put it in. Anunoby put it in. The Knicks take the lead with 1.2 to go.
And here's the other one.
No timeouts remaining for the Knicks, so they got to get it in. 5.7 to play. Anunoby to inbound. Anunoby looking, gets to the Brunson, tiptoes the line, saves it, pulls up deep 3, off the front of the rim, tipped up and in! And the Knicks have taken the lead with 1.2 seconds remaining. OG Anunoby with a follow-up tip.
So that last one was the Spurs. That last one was the Spurs call.
Sound like the Knicks network to
Didn't
me.
it? That's the new Spurs play-by-play guy.
Yeah. Well, he sucks. I mean, because if you're the Spurs play-by-play guy, you shouldn't be sounding so elated that the New York Knicks just tipped it in. You should be calling for the firing of the head coach.
Really, Cat touching, deflecting the ball on the inbounds was the play of the game, because we would be talking about Cat getting 2 fouls in, I think, the first 63 seconds of the game, because that really put New York behind the 8 ball.
Well, and then was it not on the DeArmond choke stupidity when he decided to shoot the ball instead of just pulling it back out and running more
I thought he was going to run into the corner.
I would have thought if he had any awareness.
I thought he was going to go length of the floor and go into the corner and get fouled.
I mean, if he had any situational awareness and knew how to play the game, that's what he should have done.
Because
he should.
Well, you could either do one of two things, in my opinion. You can run around Bob Cousy style, or you could throw the ball up in the air.
Or
I've seen that as well.
I was on the phone for like 40 minutes, and in that 40 minutes is when it went from 81 to 52 to the choke job. And can you believe that they would blow it that quickly? But they actually did. But, we talked about it this morning. I mean, It was 81-52, and they scored 25 points the rrest of the whole freaking game.
Crazy.
It's just
crazy.
Absolutely. And during that time, De'Aaron Fox had how many turnovers?
Oh goodness.
I mean, because that's what I'm saying. Knowing Fox, he would have tried to take the ball back out to the 3-point line and dribbled it off his foot out of bounds. Because, I mean, it's just an absolute joke. He's terrible. I mean, whatever he's getting paid, he doesn't deserve it. He's not a big-time player. He proved it last night. He's a choke artist. He's De'Aaron Choke until the end of time. And until Wemby gets his head out of his 7'5" ass, he's Wemby overrated.
He's still young.
I don't care if he is
22.
Young. He's 7'5".
He's 22 years old.
He needs to learn how to play.
He needs to develop his body
on defense.
He needs to develop his body a little bit more as well. Get a little thicker.
And he needs to take less threes. I know he can shoot them.
I think we said this during the break. For those of you that weren't in the room, I said the more he shoots from beyond the arc, the more it gets in his head that he's a guard. Well, and listen, I am as enamored with Wemby and his ball handling ability as anybody. I really am.
By his talent, but I just don't think he should shoot as many threes as he does. I don't mind him shooting.
But if I'm the Spurs coach,
but if you're shooting 10
why
threes
he's not
a game,
next to one of the boxes, down by the baseline 90% of the time, we're just going to lob it and you just direct it.
I mean,
that's all. I mean, how many times have I seen that out of him? And that's unguardable because when you're shoving and pushing him, that's a foul.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I think both offensively and defensively, he needs to be free throw line in. Now, you can take a few threes per game and run some sets. I don't mind that because he can make them. He's proven he can make them, but not playing like a center. And not using your size and trying to play on the perimeter all the time, offensively and defensively, is stupid.
I would like to believe he is going to develop into one of an. I was thinking of Shaq's first NBA Finals when he was with the Orlando Magic. That kind of. We're seeing a guy who's developing right in front of us. But I will say, at least watching the Knicks, it does remind me of the 04 Pistons, where you had Ringworm and a lot of, I'll say, unknowns. I mean, they were decent, but Ben Johnson and the like, they were just a really good team. Not they never will stack up to a great team with others, but it does remind me a lot of the 04 Pistons, of this run here by the New York Knicks. And unreal. Now they are going back to San Antonio for Game 5. I believe the next one's Saturday. I want to say Saturday. So the Spurs get an extra day to stew on this. But we are going to be airing a lot of the College World Series. In fact, we've got the Troy game tomorrow, straight up at 1 o'clock with two squads that are making their debut in the College World Series. And Chris Burke from ESPN spoke about both Alabama, but starts out with Troy. His question was from Michael Casagrande on the Zoom call. Of course, Casagrande from AL.com. But here's what Chris Burke had to say on both Troy and Alabama.
Yeah, what do I see from him? I see a head coach who's another Louisville guy who just is a ball of energy. And, I'm a big believer that the team takes on the makeup of their head coach. And he's got those guys believing. Everybody kind of knows the story, the schedule they played and really the second to last day of their regular season in the conference tournament, where they won those 2 games and got their heart broke the night before and then bounced back and won 2 games, which is probably what got them in the field. But really, sitting in that squeeze play studio, watching what they were able to do, losing the first game and then fighting back through that regional and beating a Florida team that honestly, I think from a talent perspective is as talented. I think 5-10 years from now, we might look back and that roster might have as many big leaguers on it as any. The fact that they were able to come back and win that thing and really just take care of Florida 2 times in a row was shocking. Jay Boroff or Babe Boroff, as I like to call him, is I think one of the, neatest stories in the country. And then, I've I've been very impressed with their arm talent. There's some guys there that can really make guys miss. And so I think from a pitching staff standpoint, they can stay in games. Now, we all know that Charles Schwab Field can play a little different this time of year, and they have hit a lot of long balls here in the postseason, but that's going to be true of everybody. West Virginia's hit a bunch of long balls too. So I'd be shocked if Troy and West Virginia isn't a good game. I think both those teams are playing very well. And Troy, when you watch them play, they look like they belong. Janicki's a star. Their infield defense has been very good. And of course, the whole Jay Boroff story, it really is fascinating to me. So, and from Alabama's perspective, I'm as guilty of this as anybody. I can't think of a top 8 national seed SEC team that has gotten less buzz than Alabama. It's really kind of wild when you think about just how overlooked they've been. I think part of that, honestly, comes because their team has just been very up and down, and their star player Justin LeBron has also been so. That being said, they've got arguably the most stable, trustworthy starting rotation in the country. And when they play good defense, which is what they did in the Super Regional, they're going to be in most every game because they can really pitch. Now, the bullpen's a little light, and the offense is not what you would consider spectacular when you stack them up against the rest of the field. But the reliability and the pitchability of their starting rotation gives them a chance in every ball game that they're in. So I think both those teams have a puncher's chance here as we get started.
That's Chris Burke. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
well, the West Virginia, I did not see a whole lot of West Virginia.
I didn't either. I know they can hit.
Yeah,
I mean, but
I did watch a lot of Troy, and Troy is as hot as anybody right now.
No, we just talked to Creg Stephenson of AL.com on the show, and he covers Troy for that conglomerate of newspapers with AL.com Sports, and he does a great job covering our state's Group of 6 programs, and it's been a great year for baseball in the state. I mean, Jack State had I know they're going through a coaching change, but certainly they had a heck of a year, and I thought they deserved a 2 seed. Got a 3, even though they won. They won Conference USA regular season and tournament.
Yeah,
they were tremendous, and they beat Auburn twice. They nearly beat Alabama both times. I think Alabama escaped by 1 run each time. So, and certainly South Alabama had a good team in the Sun Belt, but so did Troy. And UAB was solid in the American. So everybody this year had a good squad. Don't forget Alabama State won the SWAC, and they were in the Tuscaloosa Regional.
I forgot. That's right. That's right out of the gate.
And they played Alabama twice during the regular season, and the game in Tuscaloosa was a 2-1 game. So certainly there's a lot of good college baseball in our state, and Skylar Meade and what he's done at Troy is pretty groundbreaking. They were under 500 late in the season, had to get hot because they just played a brutal schedule. As Craig rightfully pointed out, they almost overdid it. They almost overscheduled to the point where it really hurt them, but they got hot at the right time. They're 38-30, and Craig was talking about he couldn't remember the last time a 30-loss team went to Omaha. There was one, and here's the crazy part, Steve. They won it all. And that was in 2008, Fresno State.
Okay.
Fresno State is the only 4 seed to ever win the College World Series in that Super Regional era.
Yeah.
They were a 4 because they had a lot of guys hurt, and then they got a lot of guys healthy at the end. They got hot, and they won their Regional Super, and then they get to the College World Series, and they win it all. And they were, I think they were 47-31 when they won it all.
What seed was Coastal a couple of years ago?
When Coastal won it all, I think they were a 3, but I'd have to double check that in 2016.
Thought they might have been a 4, but anyway.
But they were another program that's always been good, and they were underseeded last year when Auburn had to battle them in the Supers, and they swept Auburn. Now they're going a coaching search. I don't know if they've already named somebody, but
I have not seen that.
Kevin Schnall has left Coastal to go to South Carolina. So that they're one of the better mid-major jobs in the country. So it'll be interesting to see who they kind of draw. And don't get me wrong, Gary Gilmore was a tremendous coach there, won the national championship. But and then Schnall was with him for a long time, and he was elevated. So now, do they elevate again, or do they go outside the bubble, so to speak, at Coastal to make a hire? Because it's a very attractive job because they can't pay what an elite job pays, but it's one of the better group of 6 college baseball programs in the country, and they certainly have put most of their resources, in my opinion, athletically into baseball. So it's going to be very interesting to see who gets that job.
Coming up on the drive tonight, Joe Panunzio.
Nice.
With the Philadelphia Eagles is going to join us, as is Drew DeArmond, who's also going to join us here in studio. So check that out. We need to check out a break, and we've got much more to get to here on this Thursday morning edition of Talkin' Ball.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and our employee pricing for everyone is in high gear right now at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. That's right, everyone in the Tennessee Valley can get our special Ford employee pricing on over 280 available new Fords. Save up to $15,000 off MSRP on remaining new 25 F-150s and up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos. With your good credit, you can save thousands with financing as low as 0% on select new models. And always remember, Lynn Layton Ford will never charge you any mysterious dock fee or some hidden markup. It's simple. You pay what we pay on 280 new Fords. That's right, $15,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s, $8,000 off MSRP on new 25 Broncos, or lock in 0% financing on select new models. Come see us at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
This is Jen with The Haven, a private event space located downtown Huntsville. If you haven't been before, this is the perfect spot for your event. Whether it's Christmas, the holidays, birthdays, weddings, rehearsal dinners, you name it, I can provide that perfect event for you. We tailor everything just for your needs, from food to flowers to the band to drinks. You name it, we've got it. The Haven, located at Meridian Crossings, downtown Huntsville.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back home June 16th through the 21st. Promotions include an adult Hawaiian shirt giveaway on the 16th, a youth soccer jersey giveaway on the 18th, plus barbecue weekend and Father's Day close out the homestand the 19th through the 21st. Get your tickets now and learn more about our weekly promos by visiting tptix.com. That's TPTIX.com.
Let's rock it. The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Right here on Talkin' Ball, 256-576-4977. Now, I will say one thing that I am surprised about is I've not heard an announcement from the flavor of the month there at the Worldwide Leader. I could have sworn that, well, we were going to see a certain new figure from ESPN heading to Omaha because West Virginia is going to Omaha for the first time in school history. I mean, you know where I'm going? Because when I was thinking about Rocco's, the Jello shots.
Yeah.
And a guy who's known for kicking field goals, or a punter, if you will, Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I
totally forgot he's a West Virginia guy.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He's West Virginia. Well, I know he's Pittsburgh and West Virginia. But when I saw West Virginia make Omaha, I was like, well, certainly we're going to see Mr. West Virginia go to Omaha. And I've not heard a single thing.
I don't think he gives a rat's crap about baseball or both Major League or college.
Well, if anything, I know and I honestly have not watched 1 second. I think he's done something with the NBA Finals.
A little bit.
I don't know how well or bad that's going. But I would just say lean into your college. And I'm surprised that Pat McAfee is not going to Omaha.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it would be right up his alley as far as with West Virginia going. And he likes to make things, he loves to be lively and inject his brand of energy into it. But I'll be honest, I don't watch the Pat McAfee show or listen to it very often.
I'll watch it mainly during football season.
Yeah.
But he has grown on me a little bit. I mean, he is an acquired taste. But I will tell you that Rocco's now has a Jello shot odds board.
Odds.
Yes, there is odds as to what school is going to be on the top of the Jello shot odds board. I mean, only in America, if I can pull a Don King phrase, only in America, your odds-on favorite. Where do you think? Who do you think is the top and bottom of the board? True. Who would be your odds-on favorite for the Jello shots at Rocco's?
The Jello shots at Rocco's?
Not to win it all. I mean, you've got...
I mean, you mean to win the contest.
To win the contest at Rocco's.
Yeah. I mean, I would think, for of course, the Texas will already, crown themselves.
Let's see here. They are fourth on the board. They're fourth on the. They've listed Texas at a plus 550.
They have the most money, but they probably won't have the most people that go, unless there might be some last minute flights if they actually make the finals and actually think they got a shot to win it.
Troy Nation, you're last at a plus 6,000. Oklahoma is next to last at a plus 3,000. That to me, potentially,
I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
If you're looking for value. Yes, we're speaking about Jello shot board.
No, I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is third.
Really?
They're at a plus 450. West Virginia is second at a plus 350. Ole Miss is fourth.
I thought you said they were third.
No, they are third. I can't count today. That Georgia math gets me. Ole Miss is third at a plus 450. West Virginia is second at a plus 350. And the Georgia Bulldogs, the Georgia fans, are ranked as your odds-on favorite to win the Rocco's Jello shot odds board.
Well,
at a plus 180.
I would have gone with the third pick, Ole Miss, and my sleeper would have been West Virginia because it's the first time they've ever gone, and I'm sure they're super excited. But
Alabama fifth, by the way.
But I wouldn't have picked Alabama, but I
why not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how many fans go out there. I'm certainly not going. I've got other commitments where I can't go. I'd love to go to Omaha, but it's not gonna happen. I understand that. But I'm definitely going to be watching as much as I can. But certainly I would take Ole Miss just simply because they kind of took the place over when they won it all in 2022, and I know they get 10,000 plus at their home games. They do a great job. They didn't get a chance to host a regional or a super this year, but they certainly are used to hosting.
Yeah, they are.
And they have a very passionate fan base. So my pick would be Ole Miss. I know Texas has a great following and a lot of money, but I still think that's a lot of talk too. I do think they have great tradition. They've been more than anyone 39 times now to Omaha, and they'll probably have the most highfalutins in the stands.
Yeah.
But how many diehards are going to go down there to the College World Series?
So
I would say that I can understand why they would have Georgia number one, because first of all, they're the best team in the SEC, and they proved it. They won the regular season, the tournament.
That's right.
And then they were super impressive in their regional and super regional. So they've been loaded all year. So the Georgia fans, they've had a ton to get excited about. It's not like they just got hot like Troy did, or West Virginia. Even
they've been fairly consistent,
and then kind of made a Cinderella run to get there, because West Virginia wasn't supposed to get there either.
Correct,
but I would think the Georgia fans, a lot of them have been making, even though I know they came up short in the Supers the year before, I would think they were all probably, for the last couple of months, making plans like, hey, I think we're going this year. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the red and black is well represented.
We are going to air 3 of the 4 initial games. I guess I got outvoted for the Ole Miss North Carolina game for Friday night. But nonetheless, we're doing Troy, West Virginia tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then you'll get Trash Panda Baseball on both stations on Friday night. And then coming up on Saturday, you'll get Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas. And the Trash Pandas will be over on Talk Radio, WZZN. We need to take a time out because we're going to dive into some Alabama baseball next, correct?
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We stay warm and muggy as we head into the overnight. Temperatures are only going to drop into the lower 70s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky as we head into your Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. It's going to be just as humid. There is a better opportunity for afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The ultimate golf experience is waiting for you at the Golfus. For a limited time, you can get an unlimited membership for only $99 a month. Hit balls on the range, play any of our 2,000 golf courses, have a graduation party, or host a corporate event. For all the details, go to thegolfus.com. We have 2 locations in Huntsville and a location soon coming to Hughes Road in Madison. That's thegolfus.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, Maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
Looks like I spoke too soon. We now have an accident, Governor's Drive and Park Hill going down the mountain and up the mountain blockage. So it's north and southbound. Be careful to their emergency responders just now getting on the scene in that area. We've also got a lot of heavy traffic in through the medical district just down the mountain from there, and it's always busy in that area. We're looking pretty good everywhere else. No major delays anywhere else in the Tennessee Valley. Just be careful and have a blessed day. And if you're interested in helping support, if you own a business and helping support Mr. Traffic and the Tennessee Valley Traffic News Team, give us a call, 256-361-7736. Traffic sponsorships are available. I'm David Cruz, Mr. Traffic.
Want to save some money?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
Just check out our zone deals online at 977ESPN.com. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here on Talkin' Ball, Drew DeArmond, Steve Moulton sitting in for Scott Tyson, who's now bordering on taking as many vacation days as Tom Abraham.
Oh, come on.
That says a lot. That says a lot because Scott's out until next Wednesday morning. Next Wednesday morning. But I'll tell you who's not taking a vacation. That is 8 teams headed to Omaha. And if you make it to Omaha this time of year, it is a very elite year for all of these 8 squads.
Well, and as Prince sang, you can party like it's 1999, and certainly the University of Alabama can. And
yes,
for those of us who have followed the program since the Jim Wells era, and I certainly have since my time as a student, and when he took over in 1995, they went 3 times in 4 years. It kind of became commonplace, but then you realize how difficult it is, especially when the super regional era started in 99. That was the last time Alabama had made it when they vanquished LSU 2-0. They've had some close calls in 2010, and Mitch Gaspard's first year, they lost 2 out of 3 to Clemson. Very, very difficult. Before that, 2002, where they hosted a regional, would have hosted a super, but just didn't get it done. Was upset by Florida Atlantic. And then, of course, we know in 2006 they were upset by North Carolina as they hosted a super. And then in 2023, our next guest was the interim coach and took them to the cusp of the College World Series. But they played one of the top 2 to 3 teams in the country on the road at Wake Forest, and that was a very difficult matchup. But now they have broken through. They have gotten back. And we are honored on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to feature the 9th-year pitching coach and the associate head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Jason Jackson. Coach Jackson, you're with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton. It's an honor to have you on the show. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I know it's. I was there on Sunday. Wasn't able to make it back on Monday for the completion of the game.
Oh man, did you wait it out?
I waited.
He waited. I can vouch for him, Coach.
Awesome.
He waited.
That's awesome. I love it.
Hey, when you won the regional in 23, I drove back and forth every game, and we remember the rain delays. Every game for Alabama in that regional started late.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did, but I was honored to cover that and watch Alabama win it. And then this time, I just wanted to see the Crimson Tide dog pile and go to Omaha. Wasn't able to do that. I watched it on television, but the one thing I did see that I was proud that ESPN kind of zoomed in. They zoomed in on you after the last out a little bit. I saw the smile on your face and just the look of, just satisfaction because you were very close to getting this team there just 3 years ago. What kind of feeling was it for you to watch your guys and especially your pitching staff, which has kind of led the way for this squad all year, get over the hump and get to the mecca of college baseball?
Yeah, it's that's hard to explain. It was a whole lot of joy and a whole lot of time and a whole lot of hard work from a lot of people that you felt like, man, finally, and so many people have poured so much into this and so proud of those guys, and those guys in 23, like we wouldn't be here today without those guys in 23 and what they did. And they were some of the first ones to shoot you texts and calls, and they were just as fired up as anybody because they know what it takes and they know how hard it is to get to this point. And so, yeah, I mean, just super proud of everybody involved in the program and former players. And it's been a long time coming, but yeah, it was a really, really special feeling, one that's really hard to describe.
Mm-hmm. Coach, you mentioned it, and it's not the first time that weather delays have occurred in regionals or super regionals. How has that evolved from your standpoint of dealing with that? Is that just has that evolved at all for you, Coach, in terms of the position you're in and of just getting the guys in the right frame of mind? Because you really don't know how long the delay is going to be ultimately.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. No doubt. And, you play baseball long enough, you're used to weather delays, right? Like that's just a sport that we're kind of susceptible to that. And this time of year in the South, you're going to get those, you're going to get that a lot. And so we dealt with it in the postseason, like you said, in 23, and other times when we've been on the road, you still deal with it. So it's not, and, these kids deal with it in travel ball, right? Like they have to deal with it there too. Now, super regional and 6 outs away from Omaha, you're kind of like, man, let's get this thing going, doggone. We waited a long time for this, but you can only do so much, right? And like one of the things we talk about is like, what does it take to break you, right? What does it take to break your focus? Does it take a rain delay? Does it take something like this? And those guys just did a good job of, hey, there was nothing that was going to stop them. They were going to be dialed, whether we played at 2 a.m. or we played at 9 a.m. the next morning, they were going to be ready to go.
Well, and it certainly looked like Matthew Heiberger was. He did a great job getting through the 7th inning before the lightning delay. And I had people ask me, well, how do you think Alabama's going to attack this? And I said, well, he threw 3 pitches, so I would think Heiberger would be ready to go. I know you guys had Hagan Banks also, so the pitching was still set up really well. I mean, even with the rain delay, you got what you wanted, certainly out of Zane Adams. And, of course, Tyler Fay. The starting pitching was outstanding in the Supers, Coach.
Those guys have done an awesome job. So proud of them. And, what they've been able to do in terms of chew up innings and go deep in games. And, Tyler and Zane are guys that have pitched a lot for us over the years. And, Zane's been a starter here since he was a freshman. And I think my challenge for both those guys, or our challenge for both those guys this year, and we told them this in our, into the fall meetings, was like, hey, guys, you guys have done a really good job of, putting us in position to win games. You guys have done a good job of that over the years. Now we need you to take the next step and go win the game. You got to be the one that puts us on your back and go win the game. And I thought those guys really took that and kind of ran with it this year, and they took a lot of pride in what they were able to do and going deep in games and not just putting you in position to win the game, but winning the game. And then you have Miles, who kind of, they kind of led the way for Miles, who as a freshman came in and just had an unbelievable year as a freshman. So all 3 of those guys just did a great job for us of shortening games, going deep in games, and that didn't put as much on, Hagan and Matt and Ashton and some of those guys out of the pen. We didn't have to use those guys quite as much, and their workload all those guys are feeling pretty good this time of year,
Well, and Coach, I'm glad you brought up Miles Upchurch because I've watched him pitch all year, and I got a chance to see him the week before in the regionals in a huge game because, it was the one that decided it. Of course, Alabama had a Game 7 they could have played, but you're trying to get through there 3-0. He certainly hasn't pitched like a freshman all year.
Man, he's got slow heartbeat. The moments, he's cool, calm, collected. He does such a good job of handling adversity, right? Whether it's, sometimes he creates his own adversity, right? We might walk a guy here or there, and we might make an error, and he just never fazed, right? He never flinches. He keeps doing his thing. He keeps going right at you, and he's just gotten better and better as the years gone on. And yeah, for sure, kind of mature beyond his years. And Oklahoma State, that's a team that was one of the top, I think, 4 or 5 offenses in the country this year. And for a freshman pitching in a chance to clinch the game to go to a super regional, and he just kept it business as usual, right? And that's kind of what we try to preach is man, who, where, and when doesn't affect how. Go out there and play your game no matter what. And Miles does a really good job of that. So, yeah, really proud of him.
Talking to Coach Jason Jackson with the Alabama Crimson Tide right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And you mentioned it right there, Coach. That's where I wanted to go. Errors have been an issue for this Alabama baseball team. From a pitching standpoint of how do you deal of, because I would imagine a time or two it might get into a pitcher's head of, I know you want to get on to the next pitch, of just how do you deal with especially errors at critical times, Coach?
Well, for one, I think those guys, and I don't know the numbers to back it up in front of me, but I think for the past several weeks now, that's been really clean. I think he played really good defense.
You're right.
And so these guys love each other, and they play together, and they work hard together, and they see the time that's put into it. And you want those guys to have your back when you give up that 3-run homer, and so you're going to have their back when they kick one, and that's just part of being on a team, right? And I think from just a mentality standpoint in the heat of the moment, right, we work really hard on, controlling the things you can control, right? And there's certain things that are just out of your control, and your job is to go out there and make pitches, to continue to stay focused on the task at hand and go to the next thing. Always move on to the next thing, right? And, we find ourselves, at least I find myself a lot of times, I use so much of Coach Saban's stuff, and, when you're at Alabama and for, you've been there as long as I have, right? I've seen him, and I've seen so much of his interviews and so much of his, the way he talks to the team. And I think there's just so much gold in all of that, right? And we use a lot of that. We talk about that stuff a lot, some of the stuff that he harps on, and just staying focused on the process and playing one play at a time and one pitch at a time. And, whatever happened there doesn't affect the next thing. You just continue to move on. And so I think that's how, whenever things get rocky, whether it's them getting hits or whether it's us making a mistake or a tight zone, a lot of that stuff's out of your control. So you got to continue to just focus on what you can do.
Well, and I know Coach Vaughn spoke on it briefly before you guys flew out to Omaha yesterday. But what with Miles Upchurch, he already did this once where I thought he pitched a great game to win Game 3 against Ole Miss, which was one of the bigger wins of the season when you're trying to cement hosting a regional and then supers 100%. And being a national seed. But he didn't pitch in Hoover because it was a short stay, and of course he didn't get a chance to pitch in the supers because it didn't go to Game 3. How do you guys, when are you going to make your decision on your rotation? We certainly understand that Miles has taken a break, but he's already done this once. Do you stick with the rotation, which we know that's kind of been the rock of this team? They're the only team in the SEC that put those same 3 guys out every week. You've done it at the same way, both in Hoover when you had the 1-game stay and then supers and regionals. You may not want to give it away yet, but how do you approach this and keep Miles sharp, and even Hagan Banks, who didn't throw last week?
So what, Miles has thrown a lot for a freshman, so I don't think that, a little bit of a break probably wasn't a terrible thing for him, but you do want to keep him sharp. So we did some sim game stuff with him, actually him and Zane both the week of Hoover when we like you said, it was a short stay. We did some live ABs and a little sim game stuff there with them. And then this week, so after the super, because Miles was ready to pitch the next game if we needed it. So he didn't throw obviously, but we got out the next day and we did a little sim game with him to keep his pitch count kind of built up a little bit. And like you said, keep him sharp. I mean, there's no substitute for game reps, but the one thing that's a little different about Omaha, as you know, is the games are really spread out, right? Yeah. So you can use guys a little bit differently. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Miles, even if it's something crazy, coming out of the pen or piggybacking a little bit, maybe you go, you kind of split a game up between two guys maybe, right? And so you could just use guys a little bit different, and that's one of the benefits of having the game sort of spaced out some. So,
Coach, how does Oklahoma look compared to early April?
Yeah, they got the same nucleus, the same kind of style of play, the pressure. They're hot. They've had probably the toughest road to get here. They went on the road and played a really good Georgia Tech team in that regional and came out of there, and they went on the road to Kansas. And so, so much of this time of year is, being hot and having that mojo, right? And they've definitely got that going for them right now. A lot of the same lineup. They've got a couple different guys that have been playing a little bit more recently and are both playing well. Shoot, they've got one guy that when we played them, like you said, back fourth week of the SEC play, I think he had 0 homers, and now he's got 15. So he's been on a tear. So they got some guys that have been, really, you don't get here without being hot and playing well.
Yeah. I know the ABS was introduced in Hoover. What do you think overall of that technology at that tournament? What did you think overall, Coach?
Yeah, the SEC, our league's always at the forefront of those type things, and they always do such a good job. It's always well thought out, and it's not just something they just decide overnight. Hey, let's try this. They put a lot of thought into it and a lot of planning into it, and it was really well run, I thought, in Hoover. I don't think we did a great job with it. We were giving Johnny a hard time. Like, Johnny, we told him he had the worst challenge of all time because, you have to have some kind of guardrails for the guys a little bit, and
you went there. I didn't go there, Coach. You went there.
We pick on him all the time. We're like, I had the worst one of all time, but, everybody was trying to kind of feel it out, and, we kind of told the guys a few things, right? Like, just for example, like pitchers, we don't want you doing it because pitchers get emotional. They think everything's a strike, right? Yeah. Tyler Fay would be the one that I would probably let. Tyler's pretty even keel, but we wanted the catchers to be the one to do it. And, you always want to hold one back for the ninth inning, and, just in case. You saw that, I think it was maybe LSU game or something, where it was like, hey, they've got missed like back-to-back 3-2 counts. And luckily they had their challenge left, and it got a couple of guys on base. They didn't win the game, but it kind of prolonged it a little bit. And, so you always want to have one back. You maybe want to hold them until, hey, make sure it's a key moment. There's runners in scoring position. Don't just throw them away, right? But it takes some time for guys to kind of get a feel for that. I thought the one guy that stood out to me was Missouri's catcher. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like 7 for 7 and just did an awesome job with it, So, I mean, I think it's good, and I think the way they did it in Hoover was awesome. It was really quick. It didn't really slow the game down or bog the game down, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Well, and we're in the last couple of minutes with Jason Jackson, the associate head coach and pitching coach of the University of Alabama. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the journey of Tyler Fay. Now, going back to his home state, he's always dreamed of, I'm sure, pitching in the College World Series, but his story is a unique one, too, because he was a walk-on that came to Alabama, and he has truly been developed by yourself and this coaching staff into a Friday night horse and a guy that's going to pitch professionally. But what a journey it's been for Fay in the last, especially couple of years that saw him blossom. And, of course, we know throw a no-hitter earlier against one of the best teams in the country in Florida.
Yeah, shoot, that no-hitter came at a time where we were scuffling, too, and this team had we had got off to a rough start in SEC play, went on the road to Kentucky, didn't play great, got beat at South Al in a midweek game, didn't play great, and, and kind of back against the wall a little bit, even though it was still relatively early in the year. You felt like, man, we got to get something going here, and for Tyler to go out and kind of have that night, that sort of springboarded, when you look back on it, and, we ended up having a great weekend there and strung a couple good weekends together after that and kind of got things rolling, but he's really grown up. He's always had kind of a even keel, slow heartbeat personality, which was great. He's always had pretty good feel for the strike zone and being able to fill it up. And as he's continued to get stronger, and he was really loose and kind of floppy when he got here. And he was actually, he redshirted his freshman year because he was a little banged up coming out of his high school season. And so he was rehabbing some stuff there. And so he missed that freshman year. And then he came back as a sophomore. And I think that was actually maybe a blessing in disguise for him. He got a chance to sit and watch a little bit, and game kind of slowed down for him some. He saw what it's supposed to look like. He watched some other guys, how they went about their business and how they worked. And, but he's always so grateful. He's always so thankful. He's always so humble. And, I'll tell you Tyler Fay's story, like, this was last year, right before we moved him into the rotation, and he had been throwing pretty well, and he had been kind of tinkering with a little cutter, and we've been talking about some stuff back and forth on it, and then he kind of was at a point where he wasn't throwing as much, and he sent me a text one day, and he said, "Hey, Coach, can I come talk to you?" I was like, "Absolutely, man." And 9 times out of 10, it's like that person wants to come talk because they want more innings, right? Or they want to start, right? They want to do some different things, and I was like, okay, that's probably what he's going to come ask, which is totally fine. He was going to come up, "Hey, Coach, I want to start, man," or "Hey, Coach, I want more innings," whatever. And instead, he came in and said, "Hey, Coach, I've been thinking, I think my cutter is going to play better if we start using it more to lefties." And it was more about, what he needed to do to get better, and not I want a bigger role. It was what can I do to help, and it was, I don't know, it was just kind of it was more about the right things, and not that wanting to play is the wrong thing, but he was really focused on what he could do to continue to get better,
That's awesome.
And I was like, "Tyler, man, you're exactly right. Let's, so we started kind of diving into some stuff a little bit, and he had been really grinding on that cutter, and so anyway, small little thing, but it just kind of showed you where his head was. And man, 2 weeks later, we had a Thursday, Friday, Saturday week, and we ended up giving him a spot start, and he hasn't come out since. And I think so much of that is because his head was in the right place and his focus was in the right place, and it was never about him or what he wanted. It was about what can I do to keep getting better, and he is, he's just continued to grow, and he came back to school. He could have signed, he could have signed last year. He came back, he bet on himself, and he's continued to get stronger and better. And the changeup's gotten so much better. We've switched from using, we used the sinker a lot last year, and we used the four seam a good bit too. But now we've kind of upped that four seam usage even more this year, and especially left-handed hitters, and it's really kind of taken off for him.
Coach, finally for me, so much is mentioned about 5 SEC teams making. In fact, the half that you're in is nothing but SEC. So from a competition standpoint, how much has the level of the SEC helped in order to get to Omaha, you think, Coach?
Tremendously. And, I told the pitchers this last week in our scouting report meeting before we played St. John's. I was like, look, there's not a team in the country that's more prepared for a super regional than you guys. There might be teams that are as prepared, but there's nobody that's more prepared because you guys play in 10 of these, Every single weekend in our league is a super regional. And that's what you're going to see this weekend. It's going to be the same exact feel, right? You're going to feel like it's an SEC weekend, and it's not an SEC team, but it's going to feel like an SEC weekend this weekend. And you got a team that's really good coming in here, but you are ready for this because you do it every single week, And so, playing in this league, right? Like iron sharpens iron, and I think that certainly has helped our guys sort of realize, man, we've played against all the other really good teams, and we've done good against all these other really good teams. We're right there in the middle of it. Let's get out there and send our stuff and go get them.
What, Oklahoma was the 11 seed in the tournament.
Right.
So, I mean, it's this is bananas, Coach. I mean, this is
bananas. I know.
Well,
it's absolutely crazy.
But I know that the guys, and I love the mindset. They're not just happy to be there. You guys have a chance to win a title, and it starts at 2:00 on Saturday. We look forward to carrying it on 97.7 The Zone. We congratulate you and Coach Vaughn, who's joined us throughout the season as well. It's been a tremendous year for Alabama baseball, and I know there's been, as you when we started our conversation, you talked about how much has gone into this. Everyone's super excited for the opportunity to see Alabama compete and for Troy, for our state. But we certainly appreciate you joining us live from Omaha, Coach. Good luck to you guys on Saturday, and hopefully to stay in that winner's bracket and have a long stay in Omaha. But really appreciate the time, and good luck to you and the squad.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate all you do. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Coach. Awesome conversation there with Jason Jackson. Keep it here. I'm okay with keeping it here, because that was an awesome conversation with Jason Jackson. And I'm always so the one question I did not ask the pitching coach, is the bullpen comes up really big in this particular tournament.
Well, they've got 3 arms, and Ashton Crowther, who transferred from South Carolina, He closed out game one after Faye did such a great job, gave him 1 2/3.
Yeah.
And then, Heiberger has been a high leverage guy all year. He's a junior from Oak Mountain. His last high school basketball game was against the Huntsville Crimson Panthers, by the way. And
there you go. I didn't know that.
Before transitioning to his outstanding high school baseball career and being a big part of this bullpen for the University of Alabama. And he did a great job with giving them really, 2 2/3 innings, doing a great job of coming in and getting that big double play, and then giving them the last 2 innings. And so he closed down, got the save in game 2 in the Supers, and they've still got Hagan Banks, who he pitched 3 full innings in his only appearance in the regional to get that win over Oklahoma State in extra innings, and he's done a great job. He's the only player left from the 2023 team who Jason Jackson has helped develop. He's overcome injuries to have a really good year. So it's not the deepest bullpen, but like Coach Jackson said, especially if you stay in the winners bracket, it's so spaced out that you can afford.
You at least set yourself up for success.
Yeah, so
that first game is so big,
and it's not going to be a shocker if we see Miles Upchurch's first relief.
But if anything, we saw in the Women's College World Series 2 teams win twice on the make or break days.
Right,
you're in it. You're not done till you're done. But certainly your path is a lot easier with a win on Saturday over Oklahoma.
Well, thank you for coming in, Steve. And we certainly are done for this week, as Stacks will be putting together a best of.
Yeah, you will.
Good job.
That Abraham fella's next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action.